And welcome to Longview Game Day. You are looking out over the skyline of the Dallas City. Well, I guess city scene is probably the best way to put it. We are coming at you at one of the coolest football scenes in the state of Texas. Chuck, Zach, Tony, Kirk sitting in for a few minutes with us. Keaton Daniels, we've got a huge ball game tonight as the Lobos of Longview High School are getting to face one of the, well, if you want to call them benchmark programs, legacy programs, whatever you want to call it, you can start usually with a conversation about Highland Park and the Scots, and that's where we are today.
Highland Park, where the real estate's pricey and playing their football team get a little dicey because they are awful good and they love to welcome you in here. And as I always tell people, these rich kids will flat out hit you.
Yes, they will.
They're not like other kids. They're raised differently over here.
Yes, sir. This is definitely a powerhouse of a high school. Where the people is nice, the atmosphere is even nicer.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, and they're a great host, and they don't let you win very often.
That's true.
No, in fact, the last time they lost was last year. After they beat Longview down in Longview, they came back home, and McKinney decided to smack them around a little bit. In an overtime game, McKinney North with a 31-30 win. That's the last time they've lost a district game, a home game. Before that, we got to go back quite a ways in history to see them lose. So it doesn't happen very often here. And, of course, when Randy Allen's your coach, you're not going to lose very often anyway.
Well, Randy Allen throws down the look. He looks the part of the Highland Park head coach. You'll see him on the sideline now. Typically, he's in full suit with the fedora on, and he looks like he ought to be the head coach at Highland Park High School.
Right. He kind of gives you that Tom Landry look.
He does.
He began the fedora back in 2000 and has been wearing it ever since. We saw him in pregame. He didn't have the coat on, but he had the white shirt, he had the tan slacks, and he had the striped blue and gold tie on, and so he will be in full regalia tonight. But this is really about how are the Lobos. They last week had a big, huge 56-0 win over Wiley East in a game they really needed. They needed the good win. They needed a chance for the offense to get some parts back on the field, including Taylor Tatum, who was hugely important and we hadn't seen in a few weeks. We got a lot of things fixed from the last couple of weeks. Penalties down, no turnovers, threw the ball really well. Jordan Allen was 8 for 9 for the time he was in the game. Everything was exactly what they need to get ready for this tonight.
I agree. It was a clean game from offense, defense, special teams. You couldn't ask for more. Longview played great last week.
But, of course, that was Wiley East. And you got to play great against Highland Park. We'll tell you this about Highland Park if you don't know, and if you're watching this, you're a Lobo fan, you know. They don't beat themselves.
Sure.
They don't have turnovers very often. Usually 3 or 4 penalties a game at most is what they actually, that you can count on them getting. Otherwise, they're pretty clean most of the time.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, that's what you expect from a Highland Park team. They're going to be well coached and surprisingly more athletic than you expect because they all have speed coaches, they all have nutritionists, and they all have a desire to beat you when they show up on Friday night.
It's a mini college football program.
Well, when you walk around this campus, you kind of feel like you're on a college campus.
Exactly right. Exactly right. You don't normally see many high schools in the state of Texas that looks like this. This is ultimately the best place, one of the best places to play on a Friday night. Yeah,
very cool place to play a football game on a Friday night, and we're excited to be here, and I know the Lobos are excited to show them what East Texas football is like because when you play football in East Texas, you really don't take a back seat to anybody.
No, Longview only plays for one thing, and that's the win, baby.
Well, they're 5-1 coming into this game. They lost the opener against Denton Ryan, and since then have ticked off 5 in a row, and have, as we said, gotten better each week. Didn't look great beating Marshall in the first bounce back after Denton Ryan. Looked a little better against Legacy. Have looked progressively better each time they've come out. This is really what John King was hoping for at the get-go. He knew he had a lot of youth on this team, a bunch of sophomores playing, a smaller senior group than you normally would have, question marks at quarterback, question marks at offensive line. They seem to have solved some of those. Injuries have played a big part in an offensive line that's been all over the place. I think they've settled in on where they're going to be for at least for a minute or two until maybe they get a couple more bodies back. But really, I think the key has been we're starting to see week by week a growth in Jordan Allen that people were looking for.
You said it best. You said it exactly right. I haven't we started out kind of like this last year too. As the year went on, we got better and better and better. Just trusting the process, taking it game by game, day by day, and let's keep stacking it up and do the same thing tonight too.
Well, and I think they've figured out a way to use Jalen Hale a little better. When you've got that Cadillac out there and you're a run-oriented team, and you're kind of thinking, well, I got to get this guy the ball, but it's got to come in the flow of the game, and you kind of get the sense that that's beginning to happen.
Totally agree. They're moving him around a whole lot. They're trying to find him in space to give him the ball and let him be an athlete that he is and get out and do freakish things and just score from anywhere.
One more touchdown catch, he will tie the school's all-time record with 23. If he gets 2, he's it by himself, and that's still with half of a junior and a full senior year left to play. So there's lots of football left to do, no question about that, but we may tonight see Jalen Hale come up big, and they're probably going to need him to come up big, and he's facing a defense that's a little different than you normally see. These guys are huge on the back end. Normally we talk about a defensive line big. Their safeties are 6'5". 6'2", he got a 6'3" cornerback. The smallest guy in the secondary is 6 foot tall. So this is an imposing back end. They can make mistakes, and height can help them to make up for some of those mistakes. Jordan's going to have to be really good tonight.
Sure.
Jalen's going to have a big body on him a lot of the time. It's going to be a physical game for Jalen Hale tonight.
For sure. Not only are they a big team, they're also a smart team.
Yeah.
I watched a few of their games this year, and I seen a couple of guys from Wakwall. They had a big time receiver there. I watched them bring their safety down and put him in front of the receiver, and the corner just back up. I expect to see that a lot tonight too.
Well, when you got a big physical safety, you can keep that receiver from getting off that line. And when you got a guy like Jalen Hale, if you can keep him from releasing, it's a lot easier to defend him.
For sure.
You know, we've talked this much, and we haven't said a word about the Highland Park offense, which is really kind of strange because that's normally the highlight. It's the Matt Staffords of the world. It's the Jones kid. It's those guys that we usually are talking about. They got a new quarterback this year, a kid who's trying to make his mark, Brennan Storer. He's just a junior. Most of these guys have to wait their turn to get a shot their senior year. He got a little lucky. He gets 2 years at this as a quarterback, but they don't really have a huge game breaker on offense. They're solid on defense. They fly around on defense. Can the Longview defense take advantage of maybe no huge game breakers on the Highland Park side? And it may take a Willie Nelson pick 6 tonight to be the difference for the Longview Lobos getting a win.
For sure. It's going to one of the big keys for tonight on the defense is to not miss open tackles. You're going to have to tackle in open spaces because they're going to spread you out. They're going to really spread you out and try to run it up the middle, try to get it inside the numbers on you guys.
Well, and when you look at Highland Park offensively, they're very patient. They take what the defense gives you. They want to move the sticks. And every once in a while, they'll pop some play action on you. And that's where they may get that big play is when they get you kind of rocked to sleep in the running game, and then bam, they'll hit you with a slant or something, and look out, here they go.
Oh, yeah. We was talking about the quarterback. Every game that I've seen, he's gotten better and better, too. He's not going to wow you with his athleticism, but he plays with a lot of heart. He's a gutsy kid out there. Him and the other 2 running backs, or 3 running backs, you got to watch them because they got a lot of athletes right there between those 4 guys.
Yeah, and that's a great point. It's not one tailback. It's not 2. They've got 3 different running backs we're going to be keeping an eye on because they will shuttle them in and out. They've only had, I think, one 100-yard game for any single of the backs so far this season. That's really not their MO. It's going to be hitting you with 4 different receivers, 3 different running backs. You're not sure where things are going to come from with this team because they don't have the big, huge Division I prospects sitting out there that you can put your attention on, but they got 7, 8 guys that you got to be counting for all the time.
For sure.
Assignment's going to matter tonight.
For sure. You gotta play smart football, eliminate the mistakes, control the line of scrimmage, keep everything in front of you, and you'll be all right.
And they're going to have numbers. They've always got depth at Highland Park, and there's not a huge drop-off, and so in a night like tonight against a quality opponent, numbers make a difference.
Definitely does.
Yep. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We're about 10 minutes or so away from the starting from the kickoff of this. We're still getting the Lobos coming out onto the field. In fact, they're just now entering their tunnel to come out here. We're coming at you live from Highland Park, about 10 minutes away from kickoff. Extremely excited about this. We remind folks, if you're checking us out on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you on the app, tell folks about it, share it. This is a huge ball game. We know it's a long drive for folks from Longview and from East Texas to get over here to Highland Park. It's fair weekend. If it wasn't enough of a challenge to get here on a normal Friday night, you've got the fair coming in. You got OU Texas tomorrow. And so this is the opportunity to check out the Lobos without having to worry about being here. And remember, we're free. If somebody's out there telling you got to pay for the service, no, sir. It's free. So if you know somebody saying, man, they're going to charge me $10 to watch it, you don't have to do that. Click here, you got it. Make sure your friends know.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for the folks throughout East Texas to root for the Lobos tonight when they went to the big city. Everybody in East Texas ought to be rooting for Longview tonight.
For sure. Longview versus everybody.
Yeah, well, the city folk, as we like to say.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
It has been a long time since Highland Park lost to Longview in Dallas. 40 years this stadium's been here. We've never played them here. The last time we won at Highland Stadium, it wasn't this one, it was the original. That was 55 years ago yesterday.
Wow.
So we got to go back into the 1960s to get a win for Longview against Highland Park in Dallas here at Highland Stadium. Now, I say all that to say we've actually won at Texas Stadium before here, but not here on their turf, on their campus, at their stadium. So hoping to make some history tonight.
The atmosphere is perfect to do it.
Well, it's about time.
For sure.
Timing's everything. And I'll tell you what, both of these programs, we think of them as being perennial winners, but both of them struggled to win a state championship for a considerably long period. But once they got over that, they've become powerhouses. They're in the right size classification now, and I think that's meant a lot to both of these programs. They both have about 2,100 students, and they're in the perfect position now to be perennial contenders.
Yes, this is both programs are well respected, well recognized, and tonight, if you ask me, this is the best high school game in the state of Texas.
Well, we know there are folks from media outlets all over the place covering this thing. We know the folks at Dave Campbell's are here tonight. We know we saw Bally Sports. There are a bunch of folks here tonight, and we're here for you guys tonight.
And that's one of the reasons we're outside tonight, is because that press box in there is packed like sardine cans.
Yeah, we got banished. We got kicked out of the press box. We're outside. But I tell you what, it's perfect weather. It's a little breezy. What you're hearing is going to be a combination of the crowd, and we're just a few yards away from the Highland Park band to our right, and we got a little wind going on tonight. So we're going to fight a little bit of audio stuff tonight, but we're going to do our best to make sure the video is perfect, and we'll try to make up for our bad audio. That would be Tony and I over the course of the game.
But the real hero tonight is going to be our cameraman, who we basically embedded in the drum section down here, and he's going to get the worst of it.
Yeah. Captains are heading out to the middle of the field. You can see them out there right now doing their thing, and we're about to get the coin toss and figure out which direction and who's going to get the ball first. As they head out. You have the sheet of officials. I guess we can do that.
Yeah, let me go ahead and give you that. I pull that up here on my phone. But our officials for tonight, our referee is going to be Nathan Maxson. Our umpire is Clifford Peacock. Head linesman Timothy Witt. Line judge Tommy Gillum. Back judge Jeff Brixley. Field judge Brett Little. And our side judge tonight is going to be William Bean.
And the captains for the Longhorn Lobos, Christopher Clodfelter is out there, along with Israel Sanchez, Joshua Harrison, and looks like our fourth captain is Niquelin Vaughn.
Did you say Longhorn Lobos? Because I thought you saw McConaughey.
I did not. All right, Highland Park has won the toss. And we're about ready to get ourselves going here. So we appreciate Keaton coming up and joining us for the pregame. It's good seeing you. Hopefully you can come up at halftime. We'll talk some more.
Anytime you guys need me, I'm here.
All right. We're going to grab a seat and get ourselves ready for the beginning of this ball game.
All right, we're still rolling here as we get ready. We're going to take a little break here for the national anthem momentarily as everybody gets lined up. We'll give it back to Frank and the boys as we get ready for a national anthem here.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise and remove your caps to honor America with the playing of our national anthem by the Highlander Band of Highland Park High School.
All right, let's give you the starters tonight for the two teams as we get ready for a monstrous matchup here in Longview. Here in Highland Park. 7-5A Division I. This is basically for first place in this district. Longview sitting with a 2-0 record in district. Highland Park, Tyler are 1-0. Sherman and McKinney North are 1-1. And the folks over at Wiley East and West Mesquite are 0-2. And it looks like the Lobos are going to be kicking the ball off to start this one, so we can set the offense for Highland Park for you. And their offensive line will be Lawson Petty, a 6'4", 270-pound junior. Gannon Gaubert, a 6'2", 308-pound senior at left guard. Andrew Maroulis, junior center. Charlie Wilson, 295-pounder at right guard. And Grant Gibson, one of the captains, he's 6'3", 286. He is a senior at right tackle. Their quarterback is Brendan Storer, 5'11", 175-pound junior. We'll certainly get you more on him as we get ready to start. Luke Herring, John Rutledge are the two outside receivers. Luke Rossley and Jackson Heiss are the insiders. Christian Reeves, Ben Crossdale, Jake Cox will be the three running backs that you will see for Highland Park. All right, Michael Fields ready. Lobos in their white road uniforms. Highland Park with man back deep. That's John Rutledge back at about the 3-yard line. He took a kickoff back for a touchdown a couple of weeks ago against Sherman. They're waiting for the sign for the officials to get this started. Here we go. Hand is up. Fields approaches, and we are underway with a squib kick to about the 33-yard line, and that is about as far as Longview will give up, to about the 40, and that's where Highland Park's going to start. The defense for the Lobos tonight. It'll be Billy Smith, Leonard Epps, and Jesse Fairchild across the defensive line. Jeremiah Rugley and Tadarian Boone are the outside backers. Caden Brooks and Devin Isaac are the inside linebackers. Willie Nelson, Jaden Simmons are the corners. Chase Smith, and it looks like tonight the start is going to go for Omarion Wallace, who is at the safety spot for Kylan Sublett tonight, who was banged up a little bit last week. So first down, 40-yard line, and on first down we'll have a handoff, and that's going to be stopped in the backfield. Little or no gain. Second down and 10 coming up. On the carry was Christian Reeves.
Yeah, they came out in the shotgun, a little offset back there. They're going to go fast now.
Yep, second down and 10. Store a backward pass, and they're going to try a second throw. This one thrown out near the sideline. There's some contact, and the pass falls incomplete at the 30-yard line. Jaden Simmons and Omarion Wallace are over there on the coverage, trying to stay with 85. That's Jackson Heiss, the junior for Highland Park. Third down and 10 coming up.
Simmons was not fooled. The corner didn't bite. Safety didn't bite either, as Wallace gave him help over the top. It was a ball that was caught, but he was out of bounds. So good job by the Longview defense not to bite on the trick play early.
So we've got a third down and about 10 coming up now.
They've got triplets out here to the near side to start out.
Three receivers right, one left for Highland Park, and we got movement all over the place. Left side of the offensive line looks like they moved for the Scots, and it's going to bring up third down and 15, first penalty of the day.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see. They want to run a little screen or something. You figure at this point Highland Park's worried about the pass rush that Longview's going to present here on third and long.
The best pass rusher for the Lobos has been Jeremiah Rugley, the junior. He's got 3 sacks, although Caden Brooks had a couple last week. He's up to 3.5. So third down, 15. Storer snapping his hands a couple times for the ball, and now it goes back to pass. Storer looking middle of the field, rush coming. He's hit as he throws it, completes it out there to Rutledge, who's short of the first down at about the 48-yard line. Fourth down and a couple coming up.
Yeah, you kind of think Highland Park might want to go for this early. It'll be interesting to see. They have not brought their punter on yet, but now it looks like they're going to.
It's a pass up to about the 47-yard line. So they need a full 2 yards, and they are going to go ahead and kick this.
Well, they're showing like they are. Let's see. Longview's got to be careful about not jumping off sides, and they got to make sure they play good defense on this punt.
So they needed 15. They got 13. Back to punt is Jack Stone. He'll hit the ball at about the 37-yard line. This is way up in the air, but short. 30-yard line's where it's going to hit, and it's going to take a Longview bounce out of bounds up at around the 31-yard line, and that's where the Lobos will start for the first time today.
Yeah, talking about playing good defense. They had a slot receiver out there. They brought him back at the end, but they showed they might be interested in looking downfield. But when Longview got a man covering him, I think they decided to just go ahead and punt the football.
All right, so the Lobos will start on offense, 33-yard line. The offensive line for Longview, DeQuaylen Vaughn is going to be at left tackle. Christian Arnett at left guard. Tavion Morgan's the center. Blair Williams is the right guard. Jax Norman the right tackle. I formation to start with on first down. And we're going to have a handoff up the middle. And there's a big hole up across the 35-yard line. That thing closed up in a hurry as Jarrett Lewis takes it out to about the 36 for a gain of 3.
Lewis has looked good the last few weeks. He kind of inherited this tailback position, but he's done well in his time. That time they came out in the power eye with the fullback set.
All right, so second down and 7 coming up.
Going to go gun here.
3 receivers left that this time for the Lobos. Jordan Allen at quarterback. Back to pass, hits Jalen Hale in the backfield. He's going to break one tackle but not get away from George Wright, the senior linebacker. He's committed to SMU. And it's going to be third down and about 6 coming up for Longview.
In the pregame, Keenan talked about trying to get the ball into Hale's hands in different ways. That is one of those things they were trying to do right there, get him in some space, let him operate, well defended by the Scots.
So ball's at the 38-yard line. It's third down and 5. We are just getting going here. 10-12 to play in the first quarter. Scoreless ball game if you're just coming on board with us. Third down and 5 for the Lobos at the 38-yard line. Allen rolling a little bit to his right, sees Lewis, hits him at the 40. He'll have the first down across the 45 and down near the 49-yard line. And great patience from Jordan Allen that time to wait on the linebacker to drift a little deeper and allow Lewis to get open underneath.
Well, he did all that with a man in his face. They brought an extra linebacker that time on the blitz. And he went right into the space Allen had rode to, but Allen did not panic. Instead, he waited for his receiver to get clear in the flat and then found him.
Gained 11 on the play, so first down Lobos at the 49-yard line.
Allen's got to go over the H-back. I don't know if he was where he wanted him to be or not.
Terry and Wright is out to the left. Hale to the top or the right. Hand off to Lewis up the middle. Across the 50 down to about the 48-yard line. He's tackled from behind. One of the defensive linemen for Highland Park comes up a little hobbled. That's the guy that made the tackle, number 90. I don't have him on my program. You do.
Well, let's look him up here, and that is Mason Gallus. That time, Lobos come to the line, and they had the H-back to the right side, Victor Bush. They moved him over to the left side and ran a trap play that way. Pretty good gain on first down.
So second down and 3. Ball on the Highland Park side of the field now at the 48-yard line. Back to pass goes Allen, looking deep, throwing up for Hale, and he overshoots Hale. The coverage was back there. I believe that's Adam Rourke, the corner, that was running with him. And Hale tried to get the inside position on that deep pass, and it just overshot everybody.
Well, that time it was well defended. The Highland Park basically wanted a offensive pass interference. They kind of got tangled up in the feet there late. I don't think either one of them were going to have a chance to catch the football, but we're used to Jalen Hale doing special things. That time he really never had the opportunity.
Isaiah Harris, fullback for this team. Jarrett Lewis has gotten the start at tailback. Amarian Hamilton, number 4, is splitting out to the left. To the right. So he's getting the start as well tonight. So third down and 7. Ball at the 48. And this is going to be the big fullback, Isaiah Harris, across the 40. They'll pull him down at the 37-yard line. And that's the first down for the Lobos on another 11-yard gain on a third down and 5.
Well, we talk about it every week with Longview's offense. That fullback, you've got to hand him that ball enough to keep that defense honest on that dive play. And it seems like the 3 or 4 times a game they run it, they typically get significant yardage.
Harris had a huge game 2 weeks ago. He was quiet last week, 2 carries, 4 yards. But he picks up 11 on that one. They're expecting pass to get run. It's first down Lobos at the 37. Allen to roll to his right, looking. They'll throw one toward Hale, and he can't catch up to it at about the 10-yard line.
Just a little off the mark. He's rolling to his right. Harris kind of over there as an escort. Harris should line up in the backfield to his right, and as he rolled out, he had him in front of him. I thought for a moment he might just pull the ball down and take off, but instead he tried to find hell downfield.
All right, so it's going to bring up second down and 10. Ball's at the 37-yard line. The defense for Highland Park, Henry Jorgovan is one defensive end. Jack Curtis is the other. Keep an eye on him, number 95. Daniel Shawver is the nose tackle. He's number 91. Tight formation for the Lobos. They go back inside to Harris across the 35 to maybe the 34-yard line for a gain to 3, and it's going to be third down. George Wright, Robert Remy are the outside backers. Mason Gallis, Will Scrivener are the inside backers. Adam Rourke, Blake Bevins are the corners. Preston Taylor and Jonathan Thomas are the safeties.
They came back to the dive a little early. What I like about that call is you're in position now that you're looking at going for it on fourth down. You want positive yards on second down. With that gain, you put yourself in position. But if you need to go on fourth down, you can.
Yeah, third down, he picked up actually about 4 on that. So third down and 6 at the 33-yard line. That's Hale in motion from left to right. Allen back to pass, looking for Hale, finds him at the 30, and he's hit right at the 30-yard line and very close to a first down as he got close to about the 27-yard line. This is going to be all about spotting, and it looks like he may be at the marker on the far side of the field.
They got a favorable spot. They're going to move the chains. Once again, they held the ball in space. But I'll tell you what, the Scots did a great job. They got a lot of bodies on him quick over there on the far side.
Now, quick is the operative word of this Highland Park defense. They aren't huge, but they run around. First down and 10. We're down to 6:55 to play here in the quarter. Hand off to Lewis. Gets a little seam off left guard, and he'll get across the 25 to about the 22-yard line. Maybe the 21. There is a flag down.
I was going to say, we've got a dead ball because looks like on the far side got a flag. Didn't blow it dead. That may be defensive all sides.
Yep. The referee kind of put his signal up like that, but that's not what. Let's see if he's going to make the call now.
Illegal substitution.
Nope.
All sides. They have offset penalties.
No, it's just it. The offside. They'll take the offside. They'll get the 5 yards, and we'll get to do first down and 5 now.
Yeah, so they may have 2 flags on the play, but either way, as you described, that gives you a free down and 5 yards.
Yeah. So as we continue to talk about 4 down stuff, this just helped that cause a bunch. Coaches on the offensive side for the Lobos, you know Mike Valerie, Oscar Wilson, John Ritt, Chad Hancock, Spencer Borens, and David Ashley. First down and 5 at the 21-yard line. Hamilton split out left. Hale at the top right. He's going to come in motion across the quarterback's face. And we're going to go handoff Taylor Tatum, his first carry. He breaks one to the right. Fighting the defender will get down at the 15-yard line. That's a first down for the Lobos.
Tatum was a starter at the beginning of the year. Had a little problem with the leg issues. Got back out there last week and showed some explosion on that play.
He got a chance last week after a few weeks out to finally get back into a ball game. He had 6 carries for 63 yards and a couple of scores last week. He comes in 46 carries, 241 yards. He's the second leading ground gainer behind Jarrett Lewis, who had 486 coming into this game.
He's going to remain in there in the power eye.
First down and 10, 15-yard line. Back to the fullback, Harris. No, it's the quarterback keeping it. Ball popped out. It's down on the 5-yard line. Scott's going to come up with it.
Wow. Great looking play right up to the fumble. Allen did a great job with the keeper and looked like he might even take it to the house. The next thing you know, the ball pops out.
See if we got a replay shot here in just a second. We'll see who may have caused that. As the Lobos are going to give up the ball at the 5-yard line. So they drove from the 33 all the way down to the 5 and then coughed up the football.
Yeah, I thought we might get a replay here on the scoreboard, but either way, they start on their own 5-yard line after what had been a pretty impressive drive by the Lobos here early on their first possession of the game.
All right, well, we'll start a new drive for Highland Park all the way back at the 5-yard line. We do that as we cross to 5:49 left to play in the first half. Scoreless ball game. First down, handoff up the middle go the Scots, and trying to get a little room out to about the 7-yard line. Maybe a little more than that, but not much more. Let's see if we get the back as he gets up and made that carry. I think that was Reeves. It was Christian Reeves on the carry. He's number 4.
I tell get themselves away from that front line or that goal line there.
Second down and 8 coming up for Highland Park. 5:17 left. Back to pass score. He's got some time. Throwing deep. Far sideline. There's a little contact. Catch made. Flag down at the 40. That's going to be interference on Amarian Wallace, but it won't matter. First down catch for John Rutledge, and it'll be all the way out to the 49-yard line for a 42-yard completion.
Yeah, Rutledge, one of the captains, was wide open. Wallace was late to the scene, and when he got there, he interfered.
And it's the first time we've seen impact of no Kylan Sublet out there. And they're going to put it down right on the 50-yard line. So first down and 10, 50-yard line. They got out of the hole in a big hurry.
Highland Park having to wait on the chain crew.
And here's another handoff to Reeves. This one bouncing outside left. 40, 35, and that's where he's dumped down at the 35-yard line. Simmons on the tackle.
That may have been Boone. That was Boone over there.
Yep.
Boone had been injured as well. He came back last week, and he came all the way across the field from the left side linebacker position.
Now that becomes a first down after the 15-yard gain. Scott's driving here after recovering the fumble at the 5. Brennan Storr, so far this year, has completed 66% of his passes, 909 yards, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's got a first down at the 35. Blitz coming. They'll hand off to Reeves inside, and he's going to burrow down to the 30-yard line for a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd and 5.
Tell you what, things turned around quickly. It looked like the Lobos are on their way of going in for a score. Fumble results in a turnover on the 5, and next thing you know, Scotty's get a big play, and now they're in position to get their first points of the night.
All right, so 2nd down and 5. Looks like another offensive lineman's about to check in for Highland Park as big body comes rumbling onto the field. They've had a little injury issue at that spot. Robert Sweeney, who is a guy with offers from Florida State, Penn State, Maryland, tore his ACL in the first scrimmage of the season back in May. And so he's not been able to play. In trouble and under pressure, and Storr's dropped. Back at the 43-yard line, coming in hard is that number 32, Caden Brooks, with the sack all the way back, and they'll mark him down at the 40 for a loss of 10.
I tell you what, that's one of those things. Storr, probably the smartest thing he could do was just not throw that thing up. Took the sack. They've got an opportunity here. It's 3rd and long, but still you kind of have to live to play again. And that time he gave up the sack but didn't make the stupid pass.
We had said that Caden had a couple of sacks last week. That gives him 4.5 on the year as he leads the Lobos. All right, with 3:47 to play, 3rd down and 15. Back to pass Storr again. Got some time. Pressure coming from behind. He'll throw this one deep toward the goal line. Tipped and knocked away at the last second. Jaden Simmons with the hands as he barely tipped that away from the intended target, Jackson Heiss. It's going to be 4th down.
We remind everybody that's a sophomore corner right there who's been awful solid all year. And that time, for a moment, it looked like there was separation. He closed the space and just very relaxed went up, knocked the ball away.
And the Scots are not showing they're going to punt here. Ball at the 40-yard line. They don't feel like they're going to gain much by
quick kick this thing. We'll see.
Ben Crossland, 34, checks into the game for Highland Park. They've got 3 receivers in this set, 2 guys in the backfield, which we have not seen much so far in this first quarter. Now a little deeper drop. Storr looking like he is quick kicking. There it is. It's a kick that's going to hit at the 13-yard line, takes a Highland Park bounce inside the 10, and will die at the 9-yard line, and that is where the Lobos will take over. Well, the Scots flipped the field, if nothing else.
They did, and kudos to the Lobo defense. They toughened up there at the end, kept them out of the end zone, kept them from getting any points, and we're still 0-0 here, and we got 3:32 left in the first quarter.
You bet. All right, Lobos offense coming back out there. They had a really nice drive to begin this ball game for them on offense, only to cough it up at the 5-yard line. We'll see if we can start again back at the 9. First down for the Lobos. And it looks like we're going to have in the backfield very quickly, DeKalen Taylor's back there, number 9, standing at the goal line. He's the deep back. On first down, we're going to hand it off to him right up. Oh, excuse me, that is not him. That is, I thought I saw a 9 instead. That was the 8 on the back of Taylor Tatum for a gain out to about the 14-yard line for a gain of 5.
I tell you what, Tatum's so deep in that backfield we can hardly see him, but Taylor Tatum, the sophomore, another young player, getting the touch that time. They had the power eye once again. Harris is going to check out. It'll be interesting to see if they go back to the gun here. It looks like they enjoy the gun when it's second and shorter.
Yep. Hamilton going to split out wide left. That's a win for the Lobo offense, a 5-yard first down pickup. 2nd and 5 coming up. Option time, Allen keeping it. He'll hurdle a defender and get down to about the 17-yard line where he's about 2 yards shy of the first down.
Came out in the shotgun, but they were interested in running that option. That time the quarterback faked the pitch, keeps it after having fumbled. I'm glad to see the coaches go back to him because, you know, sometimes you have a kid fumble the ball, makes you nervous. Coaches give him an opportunity right away to get the touch, to go across the line of scrimmage with the football.
Coming up on 2:20 left to play in the first quarter. We are scoreless, 3rd down and 2. Longview with the ball at the 17-yard line. Harris is the fullback again. Dives worked a couple times. They'll go back tailback. First down, Taylor Tatum across the 20, powers down to the 24-yard line for a 7-yard gain.
And that's the real difference between he and Jared Lewis. Lewis is a little quicker, a little more evasive. Tatum's just an old-fashioned eye back, and he'll run you over if you're not careful.
So as we cross under the 2-minute mark here the first quarter. First down Lobos. This is a drive that's going to have started on the 9-yard line. If you don't get points, you at least want to flip them back around again. Couple of first downs minimum would be what John King's looking for. Very tight defense this time. Fullback dive, Harris across the 25, maybe the 26 for a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
They've liked what they've seen with that play tonight. That's as little yardage as they've gotten on that, but they're going to keep hitting that middle. You just kind of feel like there's a lot of body blows early in a fight right now as Longview is very content to hit Highland Park between the tackles.
Jartavian Wright's checking back into the game. He's coming in with Taylor, it looks like. So on 2nd down and 8, we're going to split everybody out. Harris is going to be the lone guy in the backfield along with Jordan Allen. Allen back, nope, his quarterback draw the whole way. He got grabbed at the line of scrimmage and fought his way up to about the 31-yard line. He got snagged by Henry Jargovin going through the line, who stopped that from maybe being a first down run. But it is positive yardage to the 31.
Yeah, you're right. That could have gotten to the secondary quickly and no telling what would have happened, but you're right. The big tackle got an arm on him, slowed him down, and so now it's a 3rd and 3, and this is a big early down for Longview.
And that's a very usable play with a 3-man defensive line. That quarterback draws there as many times as they would like to do it if the linebackers start dropping back automatically into coverage.
Maybe the last play of the first quarter here.
Down to the last 33 seconds. 3rd down and 3 at the 31. Allen back to pass. Trouble, dropped back at the 22-yard line. First sack of the game for the Scots, and that's 45. Sam Webster, junior linebacker on the tackle back to the 24. 4th and 10 coming up.
Got kind of a swirling wind. There's really no reason to try to rush this punt off. I'll be surprised. Coach King's going to let the horn blow, and we're going to go to the quarter.
All right, well, there's the first quarter in the books. We are scoreless. We'll take a break. You're checking this out on Longview Game Day.
At Godarzi & Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
Represent our very own Karen Bracevic. All
right, we are back. Scoreless ball game. Second quarter's about to start, and they didn't get exactly what they wanted. They got 1 first down, and now we're going to have to punt it back to the Scots with a chance for pretty good field position for Highland Park.
And I described it. It's a swirling wind. If you look at the flag, it's not hardly moving, but we feel a breeze. Here at the top of the stadium, the flags are almost straight out. So I imagine down there in the bowl, it's hard to predict what this thing will do once you get it in the air.
Scots will put a return man back. There we go, at the 30-yard line. I lost my own audio there for a minute.
That's all right. It's back. We're good now, Frank. Appreciate you.
Michael Field standing back on his 10-yard line, getting ready to kick it. And we definitely have some wind. The flag's not showing any movement, but it's, as Tony said, swirling around here. And it almost looks like it's blowing from Field's back. This one comes up. It's not a good one. It's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to go out of bounds near midfield, and they're going to walk this one back across the 50-yard line. And still coming. Still coming, oh my goodness, to the 43-yard line. It's a, 22-yard punt?
Yes, not a good effort that time for the Lobos. An excellent field position here as the Scots get their third position of the game. And I kept waiting for you to do your famous call on that punt.
What was my call?
It was ducky.
Oh, yeah, well, it was ducky, but I was worried about losing my audio again. It was actually just a shorter punt, a 19-yard punt that time for Fields. And so first down, Scots at the 43-yard line. Boy, they got great field position. They went for, well, they had short kicked it at last time, quick kick. The Storer back to pass. He's going to throw this one far side. That's caught, and a great open field tackle far side by Simmons at the 40-yard line as he stops that for little or no gain. And that's Rossley on the reception. That's just a great individual play.
Well, I said every week, these two sophomore corners, they've kind of stayed away from Willie Nelson tonight. Now they're going to flip them here, and they're excellent young men as far as cornerbacks.
Second down and 7 now. Ball's on the 40. 4 receivers set for the Scots. Reeves is the lone tailback. Here comes the pressure, and this is a design quarterback run. Storer gets away from a couple of guys, can't run away from Jeremiah Rugley, but it's going to be a first down for the Scots anyway.
I tell you what, that was a neat looking play that time. What they did was they did play action, looked like he was going to drop back, and then did a quarterback draw off of play action. You just don't see that very often. Usually you want that back forward helping you block if you're running a quarterback draw. That was not the case there.
9-yard gain for Storer on the second down and 7. So first down for the Scots at the Lobo 31-yard line. They're spreading receivers all over the place. Back to pass. Storer. He's going to do the same thing again. Quarterback keeper again. This time it's Boone that gets to him first and drops him for a 2-yard gain at about the 29-yard line. Second down and 8.
Yeah, they're making you play defense against all 11 men right now. That time no play action. That was just a straight quarterback draw, but still very effective getting them going on this first down.
Actually only gave him a yard.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Down and 9.
Did you see that when you first saw the play?
No, I thought he was across the 29.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. But
he got that knee down when Boone kind of reached out and grabbed him by the ankle. That knee may have hit first. So 30-yard line, second down and 9. Storer going to roll to his left. Looking that way, he's got a man open. Caught at the 25-yard line and out of bounds. That is Rutledge again on the catch. It'll be shy of the first down and third down 3 coming up.
Rutledge, big target out there. That's the second time tonight they've hit him on that sideline, and they just had the quarterback waggle to the left, and he was wide open there. They were giving Rutledge plenty of room, and he got both feet, or 1 foot down is all you need in high school, but I think he got them both down.
Rutledge looks big. He's only 6 foot, 160 pounds. He just looks taller than that. And quite the track guy. He's in motion now on this one. Lobos better account for him. Storer back to pass, looking middle of the field. That's caught by Rossley as he goes down at the 18-yard line for a first down.
Tell you what, that was a great job of the offensive line. They cut the legs out from under the pass rushers on the left side that time. When you're going to make that quick pop pass like that, you don't want those linemen to get their hands up. Great job by the Highland Park offensive lineman on the right side to take the legs out from under the defenders.
They've a traditional offensive line university. They've got one in Stanford right now and one at SMU right now. First down 18, Storer again, quarterback keeper. Oh, he got his helmet grabbed and it came ripping off, and that'll be flags all over the place on the Lobos as Rugley got the hand a little too high and de-helmeted Brennan Storer, and this is going to be a first down for Highland Park. Probably down near the 10-yard line, inside the 10-yard line.
I don't know if every official threw a flag, but the vast majority of them did, and that's going to be 15 yards, and that's a pretty much no-brainer call right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's an accidental one. You know, we see
Yeah.
some penalties that are silly penalties. That's where you're reaching up to try to grab the guys who's running by you and got a handful of face mask.
And you're right. It's all about momentum. The defender's going one direction, the quarterback's going the other direction. He tries to reach back, and that's the call.
There it is. Again, it took a long time for something that was pretty darn obvious. So that penalty happened at about the 20-yard line, and they will push the ball down to the 8. So it must have been about the 19, 17-yard line. So I'll pull it down to the 8-yard line, and it's going to be first down and goal for Highland Park.
9:28 left here in the second quarter. No scores thus far in a very quick first half.
All right, first and goal at the 8. On first down, not much going as Reeves gets upended at about the 7-yard line. Gain of maybe 1 on that play. Second down is Chase Smith made that tackle, and it'll be second and goal.
If you're Longview right now, it's a win if you can hold the Scots to a field goal. You just want to make these last few yards tough, and you want to make them have to come out on fourth down and kick the field goal.
Reeves has the most touchdowns rushing at 3. We'll see if they go to him. No high snap. It's Storgan, a late pitch. That is a pitch to Crosdale, and he gets picked up and dropped to the ground by Willie Nelson at about the 5-yard line. It'll be third and goal.
We talk about these corners every week. The great thing about the two corners, excellent coverage guys, but they're also physical, make those tackles.
This is a big play coming up now. Third down and goal. We are down to 8:23 left to play in the first half. Scoreless half that has been moving pretty fast.
Once again, if you're Longview, you just want to keep them out of the end zone, make them kick the field goal.
Wrigley's going to pop over from one side to the other. Rutledge in motion. Storr looking for him. He's wide open in the end zone. There's a touchdown. They had never accounted for Rutledge, who went in motion, and it's 6-0 Scots with 8:05 to play in the first half.
Well-designed play. They ran him in motion as you described, then ran a little down and out just across the goal line. Lobos failed to make an adjustment, get somebody out there on him, and Highland Park gets the first points tonight.
Kicker coming out is Jack Stone. They've actually got 2 different place kickers. Where's that Sam Heinrich, 60 or 66? Hard to tell. The kick is on the way up and good. And it doesn't matter who it is, he nails it. And it's a 7-0 lead for the Scots. 8:05 left to play in the half. We'll take a break. We're coming right back to Longview Game Day.
And now at Orr, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at Orr Cadillac GMC in Longview.
That was a 9-play, 43-yard drive for the Scots. Took 3 minutes and 55 seconds, and it ends with a touchdown pass from Brendan Storr to John Rutledge to make this a 7-0 lead for the Scots. They got aided a little bit by a face mask penalty, but in all honesty, they had put together that drive. The face mask just
the bad punt's what jump-started that drive. Poor punt, they get the ball on the 43. You add 15 yards, or actually half the distance to the goal on the face mask, and it was something that Coach King says we can't do. We just can't give them short fields and easy opportunities.
That looks like 80 is their kicker now. We thought 88. They have a hard time making out the 80s and 8s here, but it looks like that's probably Grayson Schrenk maybe who's their kicker. And this one he will bang all the way down into the end zone. It's muffed and comes out and goes out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. That was Taylor and it looked for a second like he was wanting to run that out of the end zone and looked up the field to start his move, and it came off his chest, and the Lobos are going to start in terrible position again. Mental mistake that time. It'll be a 95-yard field they're dealing with.
Well, we talked about the punt that jump-started the scoring drive. Now they get the ball back. Another special team miscue has made it a long field for the Lobos to try to equalize this thing.
All right, well, first down for the Lobos now at the 5. And on first down, handoff out across the 10, looking like maybe the 11-yard line. That's Lewis with the carry.
I'll tell you what, I like that play. Came out in the shotgun. You figure, hey, we got to get some yardage. We'll come out in the power I. Instead, they come out in the shotgun, run a little sweep play they hadn't run all night, and get a little breathing room out away from that goal line.
All right, so the Lobos with a gain of about 5, maybe 6 yards. So we'll say second down and 4. 7:30 left to play in the first half of this game. And on second down, handoff across the 15. And that's going to be Lewis again, I believe, and he may have the first down. He did. He got across the actual yard to gain at the 15-yard line. So 2 carries for Jarrett and 10 yards, almost 11 in a first down.
And that's real field awareness right there by Jared Lewis. He knew where the first down marker was. He laid out there to make sure that they got the first down and move those sticks.
So first at the 15. If you're John King, you'd like to just drive this thing the length of the field, eat up the last 7 minutes of this half, and get the ball to start half number 2. 7-0 Scots lead. Ball at the 15-yard line. First down and 10. Play action pass. Allen back to pass. Looking Hale. Pass a little bit long for him and incomplete. It'll be second down and 10.
Tell you what, that time Hamilton only got single coverage. They've done a good job of scouting Longview. Longview likes to bring in Hale to the inside every so often and run him out like they did that time, but they did a really good job of doing that and covering that, but they didn't do a good job with Hamilton, who was wide open downfield.
Well, and a better pass, and Hale's got a first down.
Sure.
It was a pass off the mark. So with 6:45 left, second down and 10 now for the Lobos at the 15-yard line. And on second down, handoff. This is Lewis again as he goes for about 8, all the way down to the 23-yard line. He's not flashy all the time, but it's straight ahead.
Well, we're looking at Highland Park's defense. They've been keeping those safeties pretty tight. We talked about on the previous play, Hamilton was wide open downfield. He only had the corner by himself. You figure here third and short, they'll really draw those safeties in.
All right, so on third down and 2, ball's at the 23-yard line. Back to the ground they go. First down and more, it's Lewis to the 40. Tries to elude the last defender, and he'll get him down at the 46-yard line, but a gain of 23 and a first down.
That's one of the dangerous things that defenses deal with. When it's third and short, you bring everybody in tight, and if the back is able to break that initial line of scrimmage, typically they have plenty of room to operate in the secondary.
Longview has been successful running the football. 16 carries, 92 yards rushing in this first half against the Scott defense.
But they've mixed in enough passing to keep the Scots defense honest.
And they've mixed the two backs between Tatum and Lewis to keep them fresh for a second half. First down, ball's at the 46. Allen back to pass. Boy, he's got only one guy in the pattern. He's going to have to throw this thing away as it goes out of bounds into the Longview. This was only Hale, and there were 4 Scots back there as they had max protection on, and the Scots were not biting. They stayed all with Hale, 4 of them, 1 of him.
And it was a smart play. He got outside the hash marks, threw the ball away out of bounds. No, there's not a receiver there, but that's something they allow to protect your quarterback. He can get rid of the football that way. It's just got to be across the line of scrimmage. He's got to get outside of that tackle box there and get rid of the ball.
It's 6 minutes left to play as we come to the line of scrimmage here in the first half. Hamilton out wide right. High formation, deep back, will play action pass to him. Allen rolling, tosses it to Harris at the 50, and he's going to be escorted out of bounds at about the 48-yard line for a gain of 6, and it's third down and 4.
Well defended by Highland Park. They put a lot of receivers out on that side of the field and rode to the right. But they only allowed the underneath pass and kept it in front of them. This is a big play for Longview because you don't want to turn the ball over. The clock stopped on that out-of-bounds play. You want to get a first down here. It would be dicey to go for it on 4th here around midfield.
Well, you know, if you pick up 2 and you cut this in half, I still see John King going for this. At 4, I don't. 3rd down and 4 at the 48-yard line. And before we get going, there's going to be a timeout. Longview will take one. We'll take one, too. You're watching us here on Game Day.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At R&J Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo Mate, Hallmark, Text Line, Diamond C. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Step into savings with R&J Trailers. Don't pass up on the best deals around. R&J Trailers in Longview and online at rnjtrailers.com. We've got the hookup.
All right, 5:52 to play first half. 7-0 Highland Park with the lead. The Lobos are driving and have a big 3rd down and 4 coming up at the 48-yard line.
By the way, our dinner host this evening said you're doing a great job, and you're doing your best, Brad Sham.
Oh, is that what it is again? Yeah. I'm a young Brad Sham.
Yeah.
I don't know how Brad's going to take that. Hopefully he never hears this.
You'll probably be intimidated.
How about some scores from the district? Tyler's on top of West Mesquite, 10-6. Wiley East, 13. McKinney North, nothing. Those are first half scores. 3rd down and 4 now. Back to the eye. 2 receivers left, and we're going back to the ground. It's Lewis. He is leaning again for a first down across that 44. Boy, he is so good about that last lean.
Well, that time it was a big first down. We talked about it before the timeout. You don't want that clock stopped and having to turn the ball over again to Highland Park. You said as this drive started, John King would love to just methodically work their way down the field and get a score here before the half.
All right, first down and 10 Lobos, 44-yard line. 5:25 left to play in the half. 7-0 Highland Park with the lead. And we're going to go back to the ground to Tatum, who just checked in, and Taylor's in trouble, and he's going to be dropped back at the 47-yard line. That's a full 3-yard loss, and that's what you can't do against Highland Park very well.
That's your guy right there.
95 is Jack Curtis, and you don't run wide on Jack Curtis.
Well, he just kind of pushed his blocker into the backfield and blew that thing up, and you certainly don't want a negative play. One thing you want right now, under 5 minutes, you want this clock to continue to roll if you're John King. If you don't get points, you sure don't want to leave time on the clock for Highland Park.
There's 4:40 left as they come to the line of scrimmage here in the half. Highland Park still got their timeouts. They've got all 3 of them. We're going to flip Victor Bush from left to right, and we got to take a timeout again.
Well, we got too much time unless they got it.
Yeah, John was calling for the timeout. Now he didn't get it in time. They got the delay penalty instead.
So now you're going to have almost 20 yards for the first down. And if you're John King, you want to get some positive yards, kind of cut this thing in half here on 2nd down.
Yeah, I think he was looking like, I think we can get this off in time. I think we can. Nope, didn't do it. So 5-yard penalty. 2nd down and 18 now. They were in really good shape. Now they're not. Allen back to pass. He's got a few minutes. Curtis coming. Long throw into double coverage. That's picked off by that big safety at the 10-yard line. And Bush knocks it out. Recovered by the Lobos.
Heads up
play is 79. That is DeQuinlan Vaughn, who got back into behind that play after Bush stripped it. And we recover it at the 21-yard line. Bizarre, but a first down for Longview.
Not exactly how you draw it up. Here's the replay right here. You'll see the interception. He really throws into double coverage, but just a heads-up play by Bush.
So he intercepts it. He starts the return back to about the 15-yard line and then fumbles it. And Vaughn recovers it, and how about that? Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Well, Bush made his own luck that time. He tomahawked that thing. He tried to pull him down, and when he couldn't, he just tomahawked the football out.
So it's Longview ball, first down at the 23-yard line. That one you don't even ask about, you just take it. Back to the ground to Lewis. Inside the 20, still going forward down to the 17-yard line for 6 yards and a 2nd and 4.
Clock continues to run under 4 minutes here.
And on the stop for Highland Park, Harrison Walton.
crazy little turn of events, and the Lobos, who have not had great luck at all this year, got some big luck right there.
Real opportunity here for the Lobos to tie this thing up before the half.
2nd down and 4 at the 17-yard line. Back to the ground. This is the fullback Harris. Little jump hop over the 15-yard line down to the 11 for a first.
Harris has had a good night thus far. He's not flashy, but that time a little fancy footwork to work his play through the line of scrimmage that time.
So a series that started at the 23-yard line, now sitting at the 11.
Personnel changes for the Scots.
Yep, 3:10 left to play in this half. Another I formation setup. Harris in front of Lewis. Give it to Jarrett. Right tackle, not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Got hit first by Jack Curtis. Knocked backwards for no gain.
We talked about the personnel changes. They went with 6 down linemen that time. They know that Longview is a power running football team. They've watched the film. They kind of had a sense here, wanted to still run some time off the clock, that they would do that. Be interesting to see where Hell is this time. Don't see him on the field. They go strictly power here, and it's going to be a timeout for Highland Park.
Yeah, they're going to take the timeout. We will as well. There is 2:31 left to play in the first half. You're watching us here on Longview Game Day.
Howdy, East Texas. Neil McCoy here for Patterson Nissan in Longview, home of the free lifetime warranty. Shopping for a pre-owned vehicle has never been easier. Just head over to PattersonCars.com and you'll find over 1,400 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, many certified pre-owned and backed by the Patterson Lifetime Warranty. And you can buy with confidence because each one has to pass a 167-point inspection before it's listed for sale. Log on and find your new-to-you pre-owned car, truck, or SUV at PattersonCars.com.
Association President. Please give these men a round of applause for their service to the athletes and coaches in the great state of Texas. Thank you.
All right, well, we're back to it here. 2:31 left to play. That timeout was Highland Park's first.
Well, and
So
I think
2nd and 10 coming up.
Highland Park had 2 objectives with that timeout. They came out against a heavy set, nobody out wide. They wanted to adjust to that, but at the same time, I think in the back of their mind thinking, even if Longview gets a score, they'd like to have a little time left on the clock to maybe get some extra points before the half.
Yeah, so 2nd down coming up now. 2nd and 10 at the 11. Play action, back to pass, trouble. Allen gonna pull it down. There's gonna be a flag back at the 10. Allen's knocked out of bounds at about the 6. But this one's gonna be coming the other direction.
Well, you got a block below the waist in the back. They were out of the tackle box, and the offensive player didn't have an opportunity to get in front of him, since that he was about to get to Allen, and he kind of speared the back of his legs, and they're going to walk off 15 on that.
Yeah, well, so close, and now we're going in the wrong direction again. Back to the, actually mark off 10.
10, yeah.
So back
they
to
may
the
call
21
holding
yard
on that instead. Let's see if he reached out and grabbed him.
Ball now resting at the 21-yard line.
Yeah, I think he did. He just reached out and tackled him.
20.
All right, well, it's 2nd down, and they have to get to the 1. So make it 2nd down and 20.
I apologize. I'm talking about replays I've seen on the scoreboard, son. I apologize. We don't always have them for you at home.
All right, here's the 2nd down play now after the hold. Allen straight back. Looking, got crossed. There's Hale at the goal line. Picked off and no dropped. Oh, Preston Taylor, who just had an interception and fumbled it, this time can't hold on to the ball, and Longview dodges a 2nd bullet on this drive.
Well, we talked about their safety play. That time, safety was back off the line of scrimmage, playing center field, had an opportunity to break on the ball, did everything right except for just pull the thing in. And if you're the Lobos, you might want to think about where you want to set your field goal kicker up at.
Yeah, you've been tempting fate here a little bit. And I think John King's going to take a timeout to figure it out. 2:17 left to play in this first half. We've got a 7-0 game, and coming out of this timeout, it's going to be 3rd down and 20 for Longview.
Well, if you're John King, certainly you wanted the 7 points. What you don't want is to come out of here empty-handed. You're looking right now at about a 40-yard field goal, 39 probably. You'd love to get anywhere from 5 to 10 yards to put your field goal kicker in better position. Your special team coach knows which hash mark he wants to be on. That's part of the equation as well. Do you want to get to the right hash mark? Do you want to be on that left? Do you want to be right down the middle? What works best for your kicker? Another option here, they've done some quarterback draws. We've seen them run some screens in the past. Those are other options you can look at here. You figure that Highland Park's going to put the umbrella out and make it pretty difficult to find hail down here.
Well, they're not going to give up 20.
No.
Well, they'll be fine giving up 10. If you want to play for a field goal, they're not giving you 20. And the Scott fans are going to stand up. 3rd down and 20. Lewis is in deep back. Allen, 1-2 steps, handoff to Allen on the draw, trying to find a little room to run, and he'll only get to about the 17-yard line. And there's your answer. They're going to play for the kick.
Came out in straight power eye. Looked like for a moment he's going to do play action. Last minute, stuck it in the belly of his eye back. And now it's up to the kicker to try to erase the shutout here before the half. 2:08 left. We talked about Highland Park had wanted to probably save themselves a little time. They have. No matter what the results of this kick is, they're going to be looking at about 2 minutes to try to get some additional points themselves.
Well, you know, this says a lot of, I won't say a lot of similarities, but last year's game was just an 18-13 win for the Scots over at Lobos last year. These two teams are defensive heavyweights. You're just not going to get a lot of points against either one of them. And you can see this is a great matchup.
Well, if you're Longview, you're probably going to go the half thinking we moved the ball pretty good at times. We just didn't take advantage of it.
Now, we just didn't get some breaks where we needed them. So Michael Fields to come on for the field goal attempt. This is going to be a 32-yard attempt. Harris is his holder. With 2:08 left to play in the first half, Michael, kick on the way, bangs this one up, and good. And it's a 7-3 ball game with 2:03 left to play in the first half.
And if you're John King, that is a win-win because that was a strange little drive for points.
All right, let's take a timeout. You're watching us on Longview Game Day.
Printing your photos just got easier. Just pick your size, color, and favorite photo, and we'll do the rest. Because your unforgettable moments are meant to be framed.
Is honored to support our Scots on and off the field.
It's a weird drive. The Lobos kept that ball for 14 plays. What looked like a drive that was dead on an interception. They managed to recover the fumble by Preston Taylor, who coughed it up. And with a little more time, they got a first down and then ultimately got a field goal, 32-yarder out of Michael Fields to make this a 7-3 ball game. You're right. That's a huge win if you're anybody on the Longview side of this field. You look at that and say that could have been 2 interceptions.
Yeah,
on
I was
that drive.
say you didn't mention the second what should have been interception.
That's right.
After throwing what should have been 2 interceptions, you somehow walk away with 3 points.
All right, so it'll be kickoff time for Michael Fields now, as he'll put the ball down on the 40-yard line. 2:03 left to play in the half. The Scots still have 2 of their timeouts. Longview's got 1. So Fields is ready. Deep man is Rutledge at the 2, and we're not going to kick anywhere near him. Bouncing ball off of the up return man. That is Crossdale, and Crossdale, tough runner, will finally get out of bounds. That's going to be at around the 34-yard line, and a late flag comes in at the end of this. That's not good, as Crossdale and a couple others are in the Longview bench area, and there's still some jawing going on.
Yeah, you figure that's not going to work out in favor of the Lobos. You figure that's going to be some extracurriculars after the whistle, and when you've got a 2-minute drill about to get started, the last thing you want to do is give them 15 yards.
Yeah, this is going to be you would think, quick discussion, and the Lobos are already walking backward on defense. And here comes the official call. Yeah, personal foul on Longview. And that gets some boos from the Highland Park faithful. But the ball's going to be down near the 50-yard line.
I'll tell you what, that's the last thing in the world that you want to do if you're Longview is to give them the ball at the 50 with a minute 55 left.
Ouch. And we talked before about penalties were a problem 2 weeks ago. We had 14 penalties 2 weeks ago. We cut that thing down to 7, I think, last week.
You mostly have all your options in place here. You've got a minute 55 and 2 timeouts.
So it's first down and 10 at the 50. Storer, who's been on the bench for a while now with that long drive, goes back to pass on first down. Middle of the field slant, a little bit low, intended for Heiss.
I'll tell you what, Longview coaches thought the slot receiver on the far side took off a step early. They lobbied, but they did not get a call, and it's 2nd and 10.
Longview defense going to be again asked to rise up here and stop. We wouldn't say high-powered. This isn't really a high-powered Highland Park team, though.
No, they're not that way, but we've seen one big play tonight on a slant play that broke big.
All right, 2nd down and 10. Storer with one man in the backfield with him. Back to pass he goes. Looking middle deep. He's got a man there. Caught. That's Rutledge. He'll catch it and get knocked down at the 20-yard line. Sublett in the game was the first guy there. Brought down by Simmons, and it's a first down on the game of 30.
Yeah, that's a matchup you don't want. You don't want your safety on Rutledge. And they exploited at that time for a big gain.
All right, first down at the 20-yard line. Biggest offensive play for Highland Park. Back to pass. Again, lifting one toward the end zone. Receiver didn't see it. That ball was thrown much farther to the sideline than Herring, the intended target, saw it. And it falls incomplete, make it 2nd down and 10. 1:38 left to play in the first half.
Still, it's hard to tell the wind down here. If you're thinking how far out can they kick a field goal here, I promise you Highland Park's got probably 2 or 3 kids on the sideline who can make a field goal from here.
You would think. And who are probably going to make one on Saturday in a year or two.
Well, I tell you what, they don't have all these soccer championships around here for nothing. They probably got kids on the girls' team who can make this field goal.
It's funny to see the girls' soccer state championships posted across the way on the building over there. 2nd down, Storer back to pass. Defender at his feet. He's in trouble. Rolls away from one. Rugley trying to find a beat, thrown high and incomplete as he was aiming for Herring on the near sideline. It'll be 3rd down and 10. We're down to 1:29 left to play in the half.
If you're Longview here, you got a chance to maybe get away with this thing with just 3 points, or at least put the pressure on the field goal kicker to make it. What you don't want here is an interference penalty. You don't want to roughen the passer. You want to force them to go to the field goal.
Yeah, no penalty. No penalty. Have we seen one yet on the Scots? Because I don't think we have, which is typical. They don't make mistakes.
No, they don't make a lot of mistakes.
All right, 3rd down and 10. Man in motion means 3 to the left. Storer looking that way. Got a man caught at the 20. That is Rossley, who spins his way, and he's going to be marked down at the 11, it looks like, and it's going to be 4th down and 1.
Tell you what, Simmons on the break just lost his footing, left the receiver wide open. He did a good job of hopping back up and get back into the play, but right as the receiver made his cut, he lost his footing. And if you're Longview, you got to be conscious of a fake field goal here.
And Crossdale.
They're going to come out in offense. They're not even
4th down. Somebody better get on Rutledge. He only needs 1 step for a first down. It's going to be the quarterback. Storer hit in the backfield. He's going to be stopped. The Lobos stop him. Zarius Shepard, I believe, is the first one that got there.
Tell you what, just an outstanding play that time. 1-on-1, he had to beat him. Big man said not tonight, and he just pulled him down and pulled him away from that line of scrimmage.
Shepard, who had a couple of sacks last week, comes up with a huge stop with 1:16 left to play in the first half.
If you're Longview here, you'd love to bust a big run here to maybe give you an opportunity to get a field goal. But I'll tell you what, that's just an outstanding play by the Lobos on 4th and short. And a little surprised Randy Allen didn't take his 3 points.
Yeah. Well, if you're the Lobos, you got a little life here. 1:16, you got to be careful and not be foolish. You're going to get the ball to start the second half. They're going to go back on the ground. And Lewis will go for maybe back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10.
Looks like everybody's going to be content to go to the half. Neither coach indicates they want to use the remaining timeouts.
Yeah, not yet. We're under a minute. 58 seconds and counting, 2nd down and 10.
20 seconds left on the play clock. If you're Coach King, you figure you're going to milk it down, maybe burn a timeout right before the 40-second clock runs out.
I'm not sure. Did Lewis not come out of that? No, I guess he is back in there. Looked like somebody with a 20 came out of the game. I thought that was Lewis. We'll see maybe if that's Tatum. It's in there now. Handoff up the middle, and it is Tatum in there. Gain of a yard or 2. And we don't even have to have another snap if John King doesn't want one.
No, that should get us to the half.
All right, well, they're going to let the clock count down. John's not showing any hankering to do anything, and I would assume they'll start walking to the halftime locker room. 10 seconds and counting. And we'll get a late play. He's still talking to his quarterback. I just think he's going to talk to him long enough to let it go to 0, and that'll end the half. Well, at half that the Lobos marched up and down the field, fumbled at the 5-yard line on their first drive, what looked like they were going in for a score. They get 1 field goal out of it and are probably fortunate to be in a 7-3 ball game.
Yeah, that's funny. A ball game that I'm assuming, I haven't looked at your stats yet, but I'm assuming Longview outgained the Scots, but probably are fortunate to go just trailing 7-3.
How about the quick look at what went on for stats then? Highland Park had 138 yards of offense, 114 of that was passing the football. Longview, 137 yards. So pretty darn close. 111 of ours was on the ground as opposed to just 26 through the air. We were 4 of 10 throwing the football in that first half. Lucky to have just the 1 turnover. Could have had 2, should have had 3, ended up with 1, and we've got a 7-3 ball game at the half.
Tell you what, we're going to get Keenan back in here for a minute, or we're going to go to the band next there. I'm looking at Frank here.
We're going to stay live down at the halftime. All right.
All right. So we got time to get Keenan back on the headset and talk a little bit, or we're just going to watch the band.
I don't know what he said, but I'm thinking we're going to watch the band.
All right, we're going to watch the band then.
Which is fun. We've got a 7-3 ball game. The only scores or the only points in this game, a touchdown reception. Now he wants to talk to me.
No, yeah, we're going to stick with the halftime show, but because of the band competition coming up,
right,
we're going to have a tight zoom so you can't see the whole performance, but you will get to see a select few members of the band as they complete this halftime show.
And you can hear it.
That's right.
Can you hear the band?
Absolutely.
We're going to hear the band, so we're going to stop talking. The band's about to come out there. We'll let you at least listen to the Longview Lobo band. Of course, the Highland Park band's going to come up after that. We'll bring you some stats, some scores, and more, as well as getting Keaton Daniels back in here as well. We'll do all that here at the half on Longview Game Day.
Johnny Ringo, athletic coordinator, Wings and Tron, HB director of band, Ryland Guidry, boys coordinator, Randy Allen, girls coordinator, Susan Bailey, and all of our academic and athletic coaches and captains. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 Conference 5A UIL Lone Star Cup champions, the Scots of Highland Park High School. Longview. Sent to the field. In 57 years, 2021, 2022, LHS West. Officer this year, Olivia Price, Junior Lieutenant Adam Corey, Junior Lieutenant Callie Maymore, Senior Lieutenant Andrew Mendoza, Junior Lieutenant Wayne Pittman, and the September Captain, Senior Raleigh Muncher. The U.S. will now entertain you with their streamer jazz routine to Drag Me Down. Teacher of the week is Anna Jackson. The lecture on the directions assisted by Megan Lawrence. And now, the 2021 Longview High School Majors will perform a dance referencing to Bad Guy. Ladies and gentlemen, the direction of the ladies, Ashley Rivera, the Longview School District probably presents the award-winning Longview High School Lobo Band. This is the Big Green Marching Machine. Sexo of Vermont. Pharmacy budgets Hallmark Law Firm, JPL Enterprises, Zodiac Office Outfitters, and Peter Chevrolet Buick Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram and Hyatt of Longview. Thank you for your kind attention to tonight's performance, and go Lobos!
proudly presents the 2021 Highland Bells. Lieutenants from left to right are Greer Dunstan, Devony Duclos, Ava Tiffany, Chloe Walsh, and Neely Womble. For your halftime entertainment, the Bells will perform a jazz routine to I'll Be There. Mrs. Shannon Phillips. Assistant Director is Mrs. Emily Sanchez.
All right, we are at the half. 7-3 Longview trailing the folks over at Highland Park, but the Lobos will get the ball to start the second half. And before we jump back into this half, we got our special guest again to bring back in there. All right, sir. Now you saw the first half of this ball game. Tell me what you think. Now, where are we short of getting back into this game?
The big thing that we are short at it, we just got to finish. We are controlling them. We're controlling them on offense. We got long possessions. We just need to stop eliminating the penalties, the turnovers. We just need to go score touchdowns. And I think the way that we're playing right now, we're going to wear down on them in the second half.
Keaton, what'd you like?
I love the way our offense is running the ball. The offensive line is really controlling their defensive line. We're running, getting positive yards just about every time we're running it. So that's good.
Between the tackles.
Between
trying to
the
go
tackles,
wide,
for sure.
different problem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hopefully in the second half, too, we can definitely get this passing game going. I know we've been kind of looking mute right now.
Yeah. Struggling a little bit with the passing game.
For sure.
4 of 10, Jordan Allen for the first half, 26 yards. Had an interception. Could have had 2.
Yes, sir.
Walked away a little fortunate to be down just 7-3.
Yeah, for us to almost have 3 turnovers and only be down by 4 points, I think luck is on our side right now.
All right, Tony Kirk, what do you think?
Well, in the pregame, Keenan talked about clean game a week ago. Need to clean it up a little here in the second half. Had a couple of penalties. Had the fumble that when they were about to go in and score. As you talk about a clean game, a clean half, I think will do it. They just need to come out, not make mistakes, not make mental errors. And you talk about control that line of scrimmage and move the ball. I think they'll be okay.
Absolutely. And one more thing, too, on defense, if we can just eliminate big passes, big plays, I think we'll be all right, too.
Yeah, biggest plays have been on the Highland Park side for the most part. We had a fumble, recovered at the 5-yard line, the interception.
Yep.
The big plays have been theirs.
Yes.
Lobos need a couple big plays in the second half.
It's time to turn it around on
there
our side. It's time to Lobo up.
All right, we're getting ready to go. Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, guys.
All right, 7-3. We are at the half. We talked stats for just a second before. We'll give you a little bit more. Jarrett Lewis, 10 carries, 55 yards in the first half. Isaiah Harris had 4 for 29. Taylor Tatum, 5 for 17. Jordan Allen, 4 for 10. Running the football between the tackles has worked. They're going to have to find some other things.
Yes, we saw in the second half against Bryant, they just decided to come out and impose their will on Bryant, run the football. Might see something similar tonight against Highland Park.
All right. The Scots in the first half, Christian Reeves, only ball carrier with positive yardage, 5 carries, 23 yards, but Brendan Story was 8 of 12, 114 yards and a touchdown, and we're struggling with John Rutledge, 5 catches, 96 yards, and the only scorer of this game. They're going to have to make sure they account for number 2 in the second half.
Well, he's a weapon. They move him around a lot. We've seen him in motion. They find the right matchups for him, and we saw him return a couple of kicks. He's just a pretty dynamic player that the Lobos are going to have to try to find an answer for him because they're trying to avoid him matching up on the Lobo corners. That's when they've had success.
And we have got to eliminate penalties that become big plays. A face mask penalty, a unnecessary roughness or unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, a pass interference penalty. We've gotten the big variety penalties in the first half. Highland Park didn't commit any.
Yeah, and if you're the Lobos, it just comes back to what we've mentioned. Clean it up, I think you can win the ball game.
Yep. All right, well, they're going to get the ball first. We've got the Scots out there already. We have not seen, the Lobos are out and ready as well. Now we're trying to get the band from Longview back up into the stands or out of the way or whatever it is they're going to do out of the far end zone, and then they're going to get ready to go.
Well, I think we were also waiting for the chain crew to get back out there. And so when they can get their equipment in place and ready, I think we can play some football.
All right, you got to elbow Frank and tell him I need more of my headphones.
He needs more headphones. More cowbell or more headphones?
Whichever one it is. It
all right,
doesn't
more
make
headphones.
any difference.
There we go. So we get ready.
We got a little skyline shot. We like the skyline.
It's a great, well, you asked before the game, will we be able to see it at night? Yes.
Yeah, we got it.
It's very cool. And one of the cool things about playing at Highlander is you get the feel of a neighborhood stadium with that backdrop.
And you get some outstanding coaches. Do you want more winning? You say more cowbells. How about more wins? 418 for Randy Allen. He is third all-time, and he's 8 away from passing G.A. Moore for number 2 on the all-time Texas high school football win list.
That's G.A. Moore of Salina, Pilot Point.
Yeah. At the top, Phil Danaher, after 48 years, he's still going at Cal Allen with 484. Randy's a long way from that. John King, 18 seasons, 194 wins. If they win today, He catches George Harris from Refugio, Tony Heath from Pearland, he did 20 years, and a 16-0 state championship in 2010, and TJ Mills from Sealy, first school in the state to win 4 consecutive titles, 94, 95, 96, 97. The quad squad, they went 63-1 those 4 years. You can catch those 3 guys if you win 195 tonight.
But you got to go all the way back to 77 for Sealy's most famous state championship team.
They had a guy that could run.
Yeah, a little guy named Eric Dickerson who went on to have a pretty good NFL career.
Yeah. Wasn't bad
and
at
just
SMU.
down the street here, he had a little success too.
See how you skipped right over that.
Yeah, well, I was going to bring that up, but he had a partner in crime then.
Yes, he did.
Mr. Craig James that he put together. And actually, the Pony Express, people forget, was quarterbacked by Lance McElhaney of Highland Park High School.
Imagine that. All worlds collide here at Highlander Stadium. All right. Second half ready to go. Longview's got their men back at the goal line. To Kalen Taylor back there. That's Willie Nelson's the other guy back there. Highland Park to kick off to start half number 2. Jack Stone, the kicker for the Scots. His kick is heading down to the 2-yard line, and they're going to let this one go into the end zone. Actually, it was Hamilton, the other return man. And that is where we'll start half number 2. Longview will get the ball out to the 25-yard line as we get ready to start the second half of this game.
Yeah, when we were going over some of the middle arrows in the first half, we didn't mention a mishandled kickoff.
No.
Very similar kick to that one where it was a tough decision by the return man. That time, he just let it go into the end zone. 25-yard line's good enough to start.
And we didn't mention a 19-yard punt.
Yeah.
We got that too. There's some errors all around. Special teams, offense, defense, pretty good. Couple of penalties. Here we go.
The defense made an amazing play right before the half.
First down and 10 at the 25. Jordan Allen back at quarterback. Couple of guys next to him. Harris to his left, Lewis to his right. Handoff on first down. Ball's loose. Ball still on the ground. Scooped up by the Scots, and there's George Wright on the first play of the second half.
Wow. That is a gut punch right there, my friend.
And it's 13-3 Scots.
Scoop and score, fighting for extra yards. You see it all the time where a back will just say, I'm not going down, and all of a sudden that ball just pops out. Cleanly scooped up and run in for the touchdown, and couldn't start much better for the Scots here in the second half.
One of those senior captains, 20-yard return for a touchdown, or 23-yard return for a touchdown. And the Scots convert on the first play of the second half, and we're going to have a...
That's going to be on the kickoff, I think. Did we have unsportsmanlike conduct?
It looked like it, yeah, at the 10-yard lines. They're going to mark this thing back. This will be a little longer point after try, I believe.
Well, I thought they said he's going to put it on the kickoff.
Yeah, they are, on the kickoff.
Yeah, it looks like maybe some celebration or something. They're going to mark it on the kickoff. Highland Park struggling to get their kicking team out there.
Yeah, they may end up getting a 5-yard penalty. Well, they didn't run play clock at all, still at 25. Well, a bad start to this second half. Point after try. Up on the way, punched in good, 14-3. We are just 9 seconds into the second half.
Yeah, we may have a penalty on that. The official on the far side's blowing his whistle like he's got something.
Yep.
So we may get to do that again. He's got a flag down. If that's all sides, maybe half the distance.
Well, they can split the distance on the next penalty, on the kickoff.
Or maybe on the Scots there. They may have had motion on that. So we're going to get one on the kickoff and one on the extra point attempt.
Yeah. Highland Park, we said, doesn't make mistakes, doesn't hurt themselves. Here's a couple right after the scoop and score by George Wright. The seniors heading down to SMU. We just talked about guys heading to SMU like Lance McElhaney from Highland Park. How about this one? The outside linebacker's going there. I will try this one from 5 yards further back. It still look like that's not going to be a problem. Kick on the way, bangs that one up, and it doesn't make any difference if it's from the 2 or the 7. It's still 14-3, Highland Park with the lead.
Plenty of lag there. Well, obviously a little shell-shocked if you're the Lobos. if there's any silver lining in that, you should have pretty good field position considering the 15-yard penalty. It'll be interesting to see what the Highland Park coaches decide to do. Probably don't expect them to be able to kick the ball out if they got a 15-yard penalty. Wonder if they'll try to pooch it or if they'll allow Longview to get a return here. If you're Longview, might want to cook up a little something on your return here. You got opportunity here to field the ball, maybe run a reverse or something like that on your kickoff. Well,
now they're
going to walk it off.
Yeah, they're going to mark it off now. So 9 seconds into the second half, and about as bad a start as you could have for the Lobos. The bad news is it's 14-3. The good news is you still have a whole second half.
Yes, you got plenty of time. No need to panic. Probably need to go down and get some points this time. Give yourself a little confidence.
Yeah.
And then just get to rolling.
And you know what? You're gonna. At the moment, fans are back at home looking at this thing. If we just can hang on to the football, 2 fumbles have taken probably 7 off the board for the Lobos and added 7 to the board for the Scots. And you do that math, it's a 10-7 game.
All right, we talked about the fact you ought to get a good return out of this. They've been kicking deep left. Looks like they've got Brian to that side and
Taylor's on that side. Taylor's on this side. And they're going to move them up around the 15-yard line. We'll see if Stone's going to try to boom this or if they're going to try to directional it and eliminate a long return. There's your kick, and there's the answer. He's going high and to Taylor. He'll gather it in at the 14. Straight up the field, 25, and it breaks the tackle and across the 30 to the 31, maybe 32-yard line. And they pick up 6 yards, basically, from the last kickoff.
Yeah, that's good coverage, though, by Highland Park. They did a great job, and it all started with the kickoff. High kickoff allowed the team to get down and cover it, and really it took an extra sidestep for the Lobos to get anything at all out of that.
This is a big, big possession. If points are necessary, yes, but some positive vibe is necessary, no doubt. Quaylen Vaughn, Christian Arnett, Tavion Morgan, Blair Williams, Jackson Norman, the offensive line here on first down to the 31-yard line. Back to pass, Allen. We're going long. Nope, he's decided not to. He's got to have to hurry, and he'll throw this away into the Lobo bench. That's coming quickly after him with Sam Webster. The junior linebackers already had a sack in this game, and it's 2nd down and 10.
Now, what you hate about that is you give away first down when you don't get any completion out of it. And now on a run-oriented offense, you only got the 2 downs to pick up the first.
At some point in time, you kind of think the Lobos are going to decide Hale's best use tonight maybe as a decoy. And he'll drag a couple of defenders. We saw 4 go with him on one play in the first half. And it may be where guys like Dartaven Wright or Amarian Hamilton, Victor Bush are going to be able to benefit from that. Hand off to Lewis, 3 yards maybe. They'll say 2 at the 33-yard line. 3rd down and 8 coming up.
Yeah, and this is a tough 3rd and 8 for the Lobos because they're a power run football team. Highland Park now has the advantage. They can drop the safety back. They'll find out where Hale is at the snap, give him a little extra attention. And if you're the Lobos, it's tough to get that 3rd and 8 if you keep it on the ground.
Taylor Tatum back into the game. He'll join Wright and Hale. And Bush, Isaiah Harris, the fullback. Back to the eye with the quarterback under center. 3rd down, fake the handoff, roll out to the right. Little room to run, City's going to throw. Caught along the sideline, 45-yard line. That's a 1st down, and that's Wright's first catch of the day.
We talked about Wright at halftime when you and I were discussing in Keena. And Wright's a kid they want to get back involved in this offense. We saw him have some success early on. He's a nice option when they see defenses concentrating on Hale. That time, Wright made a big play.
So we got 1st down up at the 45-yard line. Lobos with a much-needed 1st down. Allen back into the gun. Handoff to Harris. Oh, he breaks 1 tackle. Can't get away from Webster, who gets him down after a gain of just 1. And tell you what, the guy that blew that up is, again, Jack Curtis, the 6'4", 220 senior. He's got offers from Arizona, the military academies, Ivy League schools want this guy. You can see why. He's got a big frame. He's got a lot more weight he can put on it.
Yeah, and that's the key, that big frame. He's a kid that you can probably put another 30 pounds on and maintain speed with him.
Yeah, and he's got a motor that doesn't stop. Hamilton back in the game. He'll split out wide left. Hale in the slot. Second down, back to the ground they go. A little hurdle that time and across the 50-yard line, down to about the 47-yard line. That is Taylor Tatum again for a gain of about 6, maybe 7. Third down and a couple coming up.
You'd really like to see Taylor Tatum get a series of downs where he can just go to work. He's the kind of back, he's big enough, square-shouldered enough, he can wear defenses out. You'd like to see him just kind of break a sweat and start working on this Highland Park defense.
121 yards on the ground for the Lobos so far tonight.
Wow.
And we got a flag down before we get going. 2 flags down on third down and 2. And we got motion.
Yeah, unfortunately that time, I think that was number 48 that time, Jackson, who bobbled at the line of scrimmage and is going to draw the penalty.
So we were across the 50. We're back behind the 50 now. And more importantly, it's 3rd and 7.
Yeah, and that takes Tatum out of the equation as he goes to the sideline, and the passing package comes in for the Lobos.
By the way, we're at 9:23 to play. We know you don't have a clock up on the screen for you guys, but on road games we can't do that. 9:23 left to play here in the 3rd. Allen to roll to his right this time. Going to keep it himself. Flag down again. He's going to be across for the first down, but there's a flag down way back in the backfield, and the official says that's a hold on the Lobos. And there's another of those big mistake penalties that's going to cost him another 10 yards.
Yeah, that's right in front of the Whitehead. That was an easy call for him to make, and that was the reason that hole opened up, is they kicked the defensive end out and just got a hold of him, and unfortunately we're going to get a holding penalty.
So we were all the way up to the 47 of the Scots. Now we're back to the 39 of Longview. And third down just got a whole lot longer. Third down and 16.
Lobos are back at least one the Scots are back at least one safety up this time, 3rd and long. Looks like both of them may be taking a step back. Might be a down for a screen right here.
Yeah, they're looking for Hale, and they go the double coverage in that direction as he's in the slot right. Max protection, 3 guys in the pattern, looking for Hale, caught short of, across the line for the first down. He takes a big hit at the 45-yard line. He got the 16 and took a big shot going over the middle to get it.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a big play for the Lobos to pick up that first down on 3rd and long. It was costly. Hale's going to go to the sideline. Hopefully that's something he can walk off.
You know, those college coaches he's got 35 college offers. You're watching this as he has no fear about going over the middle and taking the hit. You just up your value that much more.
Well, he's going to wake up feeling very sore in the morning.
Taylor comes in for him in the slot now. Right's out far right. Snapped down. It looked all discombobulated from the get-go, and there's a flag down, and it's probably a good thing. They'll take the 1st and 15 because it was going to be 2nd and 15. Yeah, we'll have a motion penalty, and every once in a while a motion penalty is actually the best thing that could happen, and it was on that play.
Well, funny thing, that time, everybody on the Longview offensive line wanted to have defensive offsides called. What they didn't realize is the center didn't snap the ball when they all left.
Oops. So back to midfield. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back for the Lobos on this drive. With 8:20 left to play in the 3rd, they trail it 14-3. First down and 15 now on the 50-yard line. Taylor the back to the right of Jordan Allen, and now Allen flips him over to the left. And we got another whistle and a flag way, way in the backfield. I think
that's
they didn't
too
get the
much
play
time.
off. Yep, they're going to take an eye on this. And sure enough, 5 more backward.
Well, when you're coming off of a penalty and you don't get the play going on time, that is heartbreaking. And Coach King's going to bring his quarterback over, and that's going to be a spirited discussion.
Yeah. So now 1st and 20.
I haven't seen Hale come back in the ball game. It'll be interesting to see if he returns.
Yeah, I was looking for him as well. Yeah,
there he is. He's in the slot this time.
All right, so One play out for Jalen, which wasn't even a play, just a penalty. How about back to the ground? It's Tatum for 2. Second down, 18.
If you're Longview, you're happy to give that up all night.
If you're Highland Park, you mean?
Oh, excuse me, Highland Park.
If you're Longview, you're happy you got a snap off.
Yeah, that's true. You're just happy you didn't get the call that time.
Second down and 18, 7:20 left to play, third quarter. This drive, what seems like it started forever ago. A long possession.
Tell you what, they've locked Allen crossing the line of scrimmage tonight. He kind of set up that option on that play. Won't be surprised if he pulls that thing in and takes off this time on his own.
Hale in motion. And we got another delay.
Wow.
Another delay. 3 penalties in the last 4, and I'm putting air quotes, plays up there for the Lobos. And this is just falling apart at the moment.
Well, and if things weren't bad enough, they just lost one of the big offensive linemen, 79.
DeQuaylen Wright.
Yeah, I don't have him on my roster, but he goes off the field, and you don't execute the play, and you lose an offensive lineman.
Penalties piling up on the Lobos now. See who's come in that game. I think it's maybe 62 that's checked in for Longview at that left tackle spot. Handoff, we're gonna go back to the ground. This is Taylor bouncing this outside, and he's gonna get hit just shy of the 50-yard line, but at least a little positive, and third down goes back to 3rd and 15 or 16. That's Martin Guerrero, by the way, that's back in there at offensive line. He'd been out a couple weeks with his own injuries as he works back in there at left tackle.
Tell you what, that's about as good a form tackle as you're gonna see. Blake Bevins, the corner comes up and just squares up and takes him down one-on-one. If you can pick up 7 or 8 yards here, you can think about going for it on 4th down.
So 3rd down, 15, ball on the 50. 5:55 to play third. Allen back to pass, in trouble, avoids one defender. Now it's a foot race, he's not gonna win it. He gets tripped up, and once again, Sam Webster, who's having a very nice game today, makes a big defensive play to get the ankle of Jordan Allen and trip him up after about a 2-yard gain, and now it's 4th down and about 12.
Not enough there to even consider going for it on 4th down, and ate up a lot of clock without a lot of production. We're down to 5:28 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And you're going to ask Michael Fields to come in and try to punt with the wind again starting to swirl. So 4th down, return man is back at the 10 for Highland Park. Fields is on his 38-yard line. There's 1 second on the play clock. They just get that one off. His punt fights the wind, hits down at around the 20, gets a good Longview bounce inside the 15, the 10, and keeps rolling, and that wind will keep blowing it if they let it, and they'll down it at the 7-yard line.
Tell you what, they haven't had a lot of lucky rolls this year on punts, but that time the Lobos got one right when they needed it.
You're not kidding. Ends up being about a 40-yard punt. It seemed like more than that, and it felt like more than that, but it's 40, and you take that all day long.
We get to see the Highland Park offense finally here in the second half.
Who are those guys? First time we'll have seen them today in this second half. So ball's going to be sitting actually on the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st down. They get it with 4:52 left to play in the 3rd. They've got a 2-score lead at 14-3. And there's the 1st down play of this series, and that's a quick run out to the 15-yard line. That's Christian Reeves, who grabs up about 7 yards.
Delayed handoff. The hole popped wide open. Boone came in there and lowered the boom on him, but unfortunately by then it was a big gain.
2nd down and a couple. Defensive lineman for Longview. We've got, looks like DK Stanford may be out there right now. Leonard Epps and Jesse Fairchild. We'll do linebackers and secondary in a second. Brennan Storer, the quarterback. Back to pass. He's looking and going a little downfield. A little hand fight with Chase Smith, and unable to bring that in is the outside receiver Jackson Heiss, a 6'2 junior. And it'll be 3rd down and 3.
One thing Storer did there, he threw that ball where really only his guy could get it. Smith, for a moment, looked like coming over the top from the safety position. He might have a play on the ball, but it was just thrown away from the middle of the field. thus making it almost impossible. He would have had to interfere to get his hands on the ball.
Jeremiah Rugley, Devin Isaac, Caden Brooks, Darian Boone are the linebackers. Willie Nelson, Jaden Simmons, the corners. Kylan Sublett in there, and Chase Smith are the safeties. 3rd down 3. Storr starts one direction, goes back the other way. That's caught by Jake Cox. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Across midfield, still going to the 30. Cut at the 25 and finally dropped at the 23 as Simmons gets him down there. But a huge 3rd and 3 play, and Cox gets the Scots a first down at the 23 of Longview.
Well, it was well designed and perfectly executed. Throwback screen over here to the near side. Quarterback rolls left, throws back. He's got escorts all the way down the sideline. And, boy, I tell you, everything we said at half is going the opposite direction. We said Lobos had to clean it up. We had to stop big plays. And
how about a 57-yard play on 3rd and 3? First down, Scots at the 23. They'll go to the ground, and that's the bigger of the 3 backs, Ben Crossdale, as he goes for a couple. I say bigger, he's 5'9". He's just built bigger.
He's broad-shouldered.
Yeah, goes for 2, 2nd down and 8.
Well, we saw before the half this Lobo defense step up and keep Highland Park out of the end zone and didn't even give them a field goal because they went for it on 4th down. You need something similar to happen right here.
These big plays so far have all been on the ledger of the Scots. 2nd down and 8. Storr, little delay. Well, that one going nowhere. Blown up quickly, and at the bottom of that pile, losing his hat at the end of it, is Ethan Pulte.
Now, unfortunately, it's going to cost from Pulte for a play, as he's going to have to go to the sideline to get his hat back on.
So 3rd down and 8 coming up now in what is, you kind of figure, 4th down territory for the Scots.
I don't know. I think this is going to have to be awful close for Randy Allen to say goodbye to points in this possession.
That's true. Field goal would give him a 2-touchdown lead. He's already got to force Longview to score at least a touchdown, a 2-pointer, and a field goal. Rutledge in motion to the slot. Fake the handoff. Back to pass. Storr. Pressure coming. Sacked. Goodbye 4th down play as another helmet's lost. Storr loses his.
That's going to be a face mask penalty now. Latent call coming from the Highland Park sideline. I mean the line judge.
Fairchild, I think, got there first, and at the end of the play, while they had Storr down, one of the Lobos got a little too aggressive. It was done. The play was done, and they ripped off the quarterback's helmet, and they're going to go unsportsmanlike conduct, and they're going to move him 15 yards with the face mask.
An automatic first down.
And it just kills you. You had them 4th down and 13, and they were going to have to try a 42-yard field goal.
No, about a 45-yard field goal by the time they got through with that.
Yeah.
But
instead, 1st down and 10.
Wow.
Well, they've got it marked at 3rd. They're going to move the chains now. I don't know what they're doing.
That's automatic first down.
Chain gang over there is a little slow on it. So they got the sack, and then they give them the 15 yards. Makes you want to lose your mind sometimes. 1st down, 3rd, and we got another flag.
Yeah, the receiver bobbled here on the near side, so it'll be 1st and 15. Willie Nelson helped the official with the call.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, we're going to do 1st down again. Back 5 yards to the 17, 18-yard line.
Tell you what, the Longview defense has been good in the red zone tonight, but once again, they're going to have to come up with a big stand.
All right, 1st and 15 back at the 18-yard line. Low snap, Storr's got it. Looking end zone, instead he's in trouble. Flag down, back in the backfield. I think Devin Isaac got held as Storr gets the ball back up to the 15-yard line, but we're going to go 10 yards back in the other direction on a 2nd straight penalty on the Scots.
Big play by Isaac. They had run Rutledge in motion. He was streaking down the middle of the field. If the quarterback had been allowed to get his feet set for just a second, he would have easily hit Rutledge down the middle for 6. Instead, it's going to be a 10-yard penalty.
All right, well, they'll mark him off 10 more, and the Scots are back at the 28-yard line. It's nice to see it going the other direction here.
Another opportunity for Longview to make a big play here. Probably going to get a couple opportunities against the pass. You got to be conscious of that screen again. That's what got him down here.
First down and 25. They got to get to the 3. We are coming up on 1:42 left to play in the third. Store in trouble, sacked again. Rugley got him back at the 35, and another flag comes in.
Oh my gosh.
Here comes the second one. As Rugley is in there.
I'll be looking for the replay. Oh, well, no, he called a face mask. I thought he got him with a targeting or something, but it looks like it's a face mask. And once again, that's an automatic first down. Doesn't matter how far they had to go.
They sacked him back at the 35-yard line. And we're blowing the Highland Park Scots up. And they get him an automatic first down on what was about to be second down and around 30. Ball's going to be at the 20-yard line now.
Gut check time for this defense that continues here in their own end of the field to make big plays tonight. They've given up some big plays, but they've also made some of their own down here.
Yeah, that's a crusher right there.
We're down to 1:35 left here in the third quarter.
All right, so first down at the 20, 1st and 10. It's draw play all the way. That's Cox for a couple. Longview trying to get ball, everything else out. They get a yard gain for Cox, 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, a little bit of a strange call there. You've got 1st and 10, not a what would be considered an obvious passing down, and they run the draw play, but not much there.
1:15 left in the third. 14-3 the score. Lobos home next Friday. They'll get Sherman coming in.
Get the Bearcats from up in Grayson County.
Highland Park next week is going to be at McKinney North. 2nd down 9. Store in trouble. Sacked again. No face masks, guys. And they'll drag him down at the 30-yard line. In for the sack again. Zarius Shepard's become a sack machine the last couple of weeks. He gets, I believe, his 2nd of the night. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Tell you what, we may need to put you in the coach's booth. You're calling play-by-play and coaching them at the same time. I like that.
It's making me crazy.
Big 3rd down play here.
If you're a Lobo fan at home, it's making you crazy. I know it. You're watching this going, not again, not another bad break. They didn't that time. They stayed away from the face that time. Trying to get a guy off the field, and they do just barely. Omarion Watkins had to hustle off. Back to pass Store. Got him. Oh, intercepted. It's intercepted. We're going the other direction. Caden Brooks is going to take this thing the distance for the touchdown. The Lobos get back on the scoreboard. Thank you, defense, with a 65-yard interception return for Caden Brooks. And we're back in this game on the last play of the third quarter.
I tell you what, that defense has been phenomenal. Deep on the own end of their field, they just keep making plays.
The last play of a bad third quarter for Longview, and they got right back in this thing on just that was a silly play. You don't throw that ball where Brooks was standing between Store and his intended target, and he just gathered that in, and it was a foot race to the end zone. Fields point after is good. Let's make it 14-10 as we take a break. 30 seconds, we'll be right back here on Longview Game Day.
Over the last 10 years, our office has achieved many record verdicts and settlements. Our commitment has always been to outwork and outfight any opponent we have in whatever courtroom we find ourselves in.
At Godarzi & Young, we have settlements and verdicts that are unmatched. Whether you come face to face with the corporation or the insurance company, they know that if they don't justly compensate our clients, they're going to have to face the Godarzi & Young trial team in the courtroom.
How about we show you the replay on this one? Watch number 32. Boom, 65 yards later, Lobos got a little life.
Little swing pass. He jumped it and just took it to the house.
Don't mean a thing if you don't get that swing.
Well, I tell you what, that's a huge play. Not only did it get points on the board, you feel like it brought the visiting crowd back into this ball game. Longview faithful had kind of gotten beat down. It's been kind of a crazy half, scoop and score to start the half. Big play on the screen to get down to that end of the field, and then several frustrating calls just when you thought Longview was going to get out of the jam. They get some penalties that give them first down and new life, and then they make that play.
Yep. Well, the 2 scores in the third quarter came courtesy of the defense. Scoop and score on the first, interception on the last. 14-10 to score. Keep keep everything. Get all the kids out of the room
because it's going to get crazy.
Put everybody out of the way. Lock yourself in your car, wherever you got to be with game day, and check out the last quarter of this bad boy. And share it. Share with your friends. Share with your enemies. Share with them all. Here's a kick by Fields. This one's going over the head and down to the 1-yard line, coming back up the field. The 10, the 15, 20, 25, 30, and upended across the 42-yard line. That is Ben Crossdale on the return, and the Scots are right back in good field position at about the 42-yard line.
Yeah, Wallace eventually takes his wheels out from under him, but prior to that, big play that time to set them up in excellent field position on their own 42. He had to really go back to just catch that thing, lost his momentum, but then it almost seemed like they're on the far side. Somebody lost their lane, and they came back with a big return.
Yep.
Tell you what, if you're the Longview defense, you want to just keep making big plays. You may give some up, but you got to make some.
Yep, here we go. If you are the Lobos, this is the quarter to play for. Timeout Highland Park before we got going.
We're going to stay here. Highland Park's got a timeout, and they just didn't have their personnel package right. They got out there ready to go to work and looked up and didn't have somebody, and the coaches called a timeout.
All right, well, tell you what, a game that has lacked some excitement for the Lobos for the longest time gives us a little bit of life here. Can the defense, who's been asked to come out here and carry the offense for most part today, stand up again and force a punt back from the Scots?
Well, I'll tell you what, in lieu of that, we just may need big plays, and they've gotten some big plays tonight. We had several big sacks on that last defensive stand that unfortunately got erased by the penalties. Obviously, the biggest play being the interception return for the touchdown. But they really started putting pressure on this Highland Park quarterback, who I'll be honest, has looked a little shaky since he's seen the pressure.
Yeah, Brennan Storr, who got a lot of pressure the last drive. But not for a couple of face mask penalties. The Lobos chalked down 3 or 4 sacks in that last possession. So here on first down, we'll see if Randy Allen wants to go back to the ground. Nope, back to the air. Storr got a little room up the middle. He's going to run it himself. Defensive linemen are not going to keep up with him as he crosses the 50 to the 45-yard line for a gain of 13 and a first down.
Well, complete loss of containment that time. He had flooded the left side with receivers. That took pretty much the linebackers and the defensive backs that direction. When he broke open, he had a lot of green turf in front of him. He used most of it.
Tell you what, if you're Coach Allen, you'll take that one right there.
Sure.
It slows down the pass rush a little bit. I don't risk an interception or a sack, and I got a first down out of that. My offense got something positive.
Well, it may settle Storr down, too.
First down at the 45. Back to the ground to Reeves. Sweeping right. He is not getting much. Jeremiah Rugley from behind grabs him. Gain of a yard, maybe 2, second down and 8.
Yeah, and that's what I'm used to seeing from Highland Park football right there. Those little outside plays, cut up, get all you can out of it. Not a lot there that time, but that is what they're used to doing here.
Tell you what, Reeves has had a tough day today for their leading rusher. It just hasn't been there. 7 carries, 32 yards.
Well, they just have not established a consistent running game tonight.
And in fact, just 38 yards on the ground. And if you take some sacks away from Storr, you're down to about 25 yards of rushing offense. Storr back to pass, a toss back screen again. This time the Lobos do a better job sniffing it out, and they stop Cox after a short gain. to about the 42-yard line, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 7.
Outside containment was much better that time from Longview. The last time they ran that throwback screen, they got it to the outside. That time, good job. I don't know if that was Willie Nelson on the far side from that corner to turn that thing in, but that's what made it work.
I don't know, but some credit to John Barry and the defensive staff tonight. Josh Rankin, Scott Hart, Brandon Bonds, Pat House, Trevor Murphy. They've done a whale of a job tonight. 3rd down, 7, big play. Store back to pass, looking middle. Got a guy caught, and he's going to have the 1st down. That's Rossley. He just put his head down and barreled through 2 defenders and got the 1st down. Couldn't get the tackle from Chase Smith that time or from Zarius Shepard.
But the real credit that time goes to the Highland Park offensive line. They gave Store plenty of time to find that receiver clearing. He's coming across the middle. You got to wait for him to get to where you've got your line of vision to hit him. That time Store had plenty of time. He had the window. He makes a completion.
Yeah, 9-yard gain. They needed 7. They got 9. They keep the ball moving. On 1st down and 10 at the 33. More passing. Store going to run. Flag down back behind this play. There's going to be a hold on Highland Park's offensive lineman. And I think it's going to be one of the guards at the end, at the beginning of this play is going to be called for the hold.
Yeah, unfortunately, we got Lobo down on the far side, on their sideline. We'll have to wait and see who that is, but they're going to bring this thing back, I believe. That's huge because that was you kind of sense that Randy Allen and his staff have figured out their best option running the football right now, Store.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you let the pass rushers come up the field and the lanes open up in the middle. But instead, he's going to be again behind the chains now. As this one's going to be marched backward.
This is really when Longview's pass rush has been most effective, when they've had a long way to go for a 1st down. We saw it down here on the other end of the field. They were able to get a big pass rush when it was 2nd long, 3rd and long.
Now, they haven't marked the ball back at all. That was a flag that was in the backfield. 9:58 left to play in this game. 14-10 score. They haven't marked anything back. The official took a timeout. Now they're going to call Scots are going to call their guys over to the sideline. I think the Lobos will do the same.
Well, they've got the man down on the far side. They're tending to the injury, and even though he's not on the playing field, they're making sure he's clear of danger.
Yeah, but they put that ball back down the original line of scrimmage, the 43-yard line. Let's see if they're going to mark something off now after the fact. That was a run that was down to like the 30-yard line.
Yeah, well, we're looking at 1st down and 20 now.
No, 1st down and oh, okay. Oh, I'm on the. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm thinking 33-yard line.
We're in the city, Chuck. They got one of them fancy boxes with the numbers on it down there.
They need to tell us when they're going to use the fancy one. So it's the hold at 10-yard penalty. All right, let's try that again now. Pass outside to Cox. He's going to get across the 40 for a gain of about 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 16. Not bad, guys.
Good play that time by Caden Brooks to get him out of bounds and nothing extra. He just got him out of bounds, got the whistle, didn't throw him down or anything that could have constituted a penalty. And now we're looking at about, I have 2nd and 16.
Yes, I'm going to go with that too. Yeah, a little maturity for the Lobos here would be nice. No silly mistakes. 2nd down, 17. They're going to spread everybody out. This looks like a Store run again. Steady's going to pass. That one's caught. Great tackle. Whoa, I say great tackle. Great start of a tackle. And how about...
There's a great tackle. But unfortunately, it came 10 yards down the field.
How about Cox, who caught the ball again in the flat and just refused to go down? Just ran right through. I think it was Simmons trying to make the tackle. It was a great form hit. And he just wouldn't go down.
Didn't wrap up like he needed to, and
it's Willie Nelson finally body slams him to the ground, but not until he gains enough for a 1st down.
Tell you what, Willie may consider a WWE career.
Yeah. Ball sitting on about the 18-yard line. 1st down, low snap. Store again going to toss one out to Cox. Flag down again. That may be rough on the passer. As Store loses his helmet, Fairchild got him. We talked about being mature. There's the not mature. Rough on the passer.
Yeah, that's going to take you halfway down to the goal line, and just unfortunate decision that time. Simple little swing pass. Store had gotten rid of the ball. I didn't see who the defender was, but it's going to result in a roughing the passer penalty.
As Storer got his helmet knocked off again. The Lobos really need a dose of calming down defensively. They're frustrated right now because they thought they should have been off the field and can't get off the field.
Well, they need to hold this to a field goal. If you can keep it to a field goal, it's a one-score ball game. 8:41 left here in the fourth quarter.
Well, we're going to have a half the distance, so they put it at the 9-yard line or 8-yard line. Yikes. First down and goal from there. Back to pass Storer, looking deep end zone. No defender there. A little mix-up in the secondary and a touchdown pass to Jackson Heiss, and now it's 20-10.
Yeah, it looked like almost a little circle wheel route where they may have done a little picking down there to get that inside receiver to circle out deep. We'll have to look and see if they put that on the scoreboard replay, but it was a cute little play they executed there.
Yeah, well, here comes point after try as Stone comes on for another PAT. High snap, kick up and good, 21-10 with 8:19 left in this game. Let's take a break. We'll come right back to game day.
It's a new season. And it's so come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips, it's good to be a guy.
$8:19 left to play. 7 plays, 58 yards. They do that in 4:16, courtesy of that kickoff return that began it again. It was another special teams breakdown that started that thing. Shorter field and then untimely penalties.
Yeah, multiple penalties again. The roughing the passer penalty being the one that got it down half the distance to the goal. And unfortunately, just hasn't been a clean half, and the Lobos still have 8:19 left, and this is a ball game they're still in position to win, but they're going to have to do some things that they're not going to have to be miracles, but they're going to have to be special.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a score and stop and try to win this thing at the end. They got to get a score, which the offense so far tonight has not gotten a touchdown. They've pitched 2 shutouts this year, have the Longview defense. The offense being shut out right now. Here's the boot, and that one hooks out of bounds. See if it got into the end zone, and yeah, it did.
Yep.
So it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Not pretty, but effective. And so once again, Lobos will start on their own 25. We talk about 8:19 left on the clock. What can you do with that? Well, if you're Longview, you can stick pretty much to your base defense. You still got your timeouts. And when I say that, I'm looking on the board here. I'm trying to find time. Yeah, there they are. The goalposts are blocked. They got all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, they've got timeouts.
So you can use those on defense. You've got plenty of time to go down the field and do what you do. You don't have to get out away from what you do well.
Yeah, the third quarter was not kind to the Longview offense, though. They've got to make something happen. First down. Go to the ground, and not much. Isaiah Harris for a couple. Second down and 8 coming up.
That time looked like everybody on Highland Park was pinching down, expecting something up the middle. We expected Longview to come out against Highland Park in the second half and really try to establish the running game. Unfortunately, that scoop and score early kind of got them out away from what I think they wanted to do this half.
Now it's second down. We're going tight formation, just one receiver split out left. Fullback dive, a couple of yards out to maybe the 30. Third down and 5.
Once again, the Lobos are facing a defense that is very compacted, pinching down, just not a lot of room between the tackles right now.
And you're not spreading people out.
No.
I mean, you've got 10 of your guys in the box. I say 10. You got your offensive linemen, you got 2 backs, and you got 1 guy split out against what it's basically 10 guys in the box for Highland Park.
Yeah, finally they put third down up on the box over there.
3rd and 5 at the 30. Allen to roll left. Got a blocker in front of him. Tosses it. Wide for Hale. Out of bounds. 4th down and 5.
And nothing you can do but punt the football here. It was a unfortunate time for a 3 and out. We're down to 7:07 left here. Once again, Lobos have 3 timeouts. They've been heavily dependent upon their defense to make big plays tonight. Once again, they're going to need their defense to make a big play.
Yeah. Longview had a 9-play, 21-yard drive in the 3rd quarter. Of course, they had the scoop and score, fumble on the first play of the quarter. That's their first 3 offensive plays of the 4th quarter, and it's a 3 and out. They net 5 yards. Fields into punt. Wind behind him a little bit this time. He's got a high punt. Fair catch called for and made at the 38-yard line. That's Cox on the fair catch. And it'll be 1st down Scots at the 39. We've down to the last 7 minutes of this game.
Tell you what, Jay Cox looked like an outfielder there. He scooted up on that ball with the defender right in his face. Really caught it about shoulder high, almost like he had his hands in the wrong position, but excellent job of not letting that ball hit the turf. They start on their 39, and tell you what, they're a couple of 1st downs away from really putting a lot of pressure on the Lobos.
Not a lot of rest for the defense. They got a 3-play break, and they're back out there again. 7 minutes left, 21-10, Highland Park with the lead. 3 receivers near side. Storr, quarterback keeper himself, across the 40, picking his way to the 45, and slings forward across the 45 to maybe the 46. He's going to bring up a 2nd down and about 2.5 for 3.
Well, we mentioned it once already in this half. It looks like they've come to the realization their best running option is the quarterback, and he continues to pick up big yardage. He took some big sacks tonight. He won't have great stats, but he's made some big plays with his feet.
But he gets back in positive stat numbers. That's encouraging for Highland Park, because it sacked him enough times.
Of course, he lost a couple of those sacks on penalties.
Right. All right, 2nd down and 3. To the ground they go. Oh, that's a good play. Boy, open field tackle extraordinaire that time. Did not, is that Boone? Yeah, that's Boone.
I was going to say, I didn't even get the number, and I know who that is. That's Boone, who submarine down there and made the play. This is a big 3rd down.
Yeah, it was Ben Crossdale on the carry, and not much. In fact, no gain. So 3rd down and 3. All right, defense. 3rd and 3. You're going to be asked again to try to get the Scots off the field. 5:50 left to play in the game. Clock running.
If you can tackle them for a loss here, I use a timeout. I know it's early, but they're going to let the clock run.
On 3rd down, Storr back. He's got time. He's got a man. Caught at the 48. That's Reeves. Picks his way across the 40 to the 35 and out of bounds with a 1st down, 5:29 left.
Great call that time by the Scots. They kind of sensed it was going to be tough sledding to try to pick it up on the ground. Instead, they get a guy out in space, and he picks up 1st down.
Yep, down to the 34-yard line for 1st down yardage.
Tell you what, that may start salting this thing away.
Yeah,
if you're the Lobos, you don't expect Highland Park to do anything that's going to give you much of an opportunity to make a play. I won't be surprised if we don't see the quarterback just run it a couple more times.
Yeah, clock just became an enemy. You couldn't stop him there. The clock's the enemy. Storr handing off, late handoff, and not much for Crossdale. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Lobos got to start using those timeouts.
And they'll burn the first one right here. That comes with 5:22 left. They've got 2 of them remaining, but not many opportunities. We'll take a break. We'll come right back here on Game Day.
At Godarzi & Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
$5:22 left to play. 21-10 the score. First trip for Longview here to Highlander Stadium since this stadium was built in 1980. Last time they were in a Highlander Stadium was the old one. That was on October the 7th, 1966. Final score that time, 33-14, Highland Park with a win. may not want to come back here anytime soon.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I'm John King and they tell me realignment next year takes me out of Highland Park's district, I'd probably be okay with that. You can always see them at a neutral site in a playoff game.
Yeah, not a problem. All right. 2nd down and 10. Store delay handoff again, coming the other direction. That is crossing. Oh, gosh, he tries to hurdle. And, boy, I tell you what, he gave Willie Nelson a face full of cleats. That's a dangerous play for all involved, and he's going to see if he got a first down here or not. And Willie's kind of shaking up a little bit. Officials asking him if he's okay. I just got kicked in the head, ref.
Yeah, he got mule kicked there, and Willie's a tough kid, but that's not anything you want to boy, I tell you, that's
a dangerous play.
Yeah, dangerous play for two different players, both the defender and the offensive player. Fortunate there, both of them got up, and penalty's going to bring that thing back. I think they called hurdling on him.
No, they called a hold.
They called a hold?
Yeah, they call a hold on the run. So they'll take away all of the drama of that play. It'll go back to the 44-yard line.
Let's watch that again. That's pretty good replay right there Frank's got for us. If you can watch this thing to the end, he takes flight. Didn't have a very good landing.
No. Willie Nelson wasn't intended to be a landing pad either. 5:09 left. Long yardage to go. Store back to pass. Throwing outside. That is caught by Crossdale, and he gets dropped immediately by Tadarian Boone. And it's going to bring up 3rd down, and the Lobos going to burn another timeout.
Well, Boone will leave a mark on you if you're not careful. He missed a couple of games this year. He is a kid who is very physical, very aggressive, makes some big plays. Love to see him make one here. For a moment there, it looked like Storer almost hung that thing up enough where they were going to have another shot at an interception.
That's been the only offense really for the Lobos tonight, is that pick 6. Second time in 2 weeks we've seen a pick 6. Willie Nelson last week, and this week it was Caden Brooks with his 65-yard interception return. Those are becoming highlights.
I tell you what, if you take away the 2 second-half turnover scores, this is a low-scoring ball game. We're looking at about a 13-3 ball game right now.
Yep.
14-3. Yeah.
All right, next week we're back at home, back to Lobo, where Sherman's coming in. I've said that twice, and every time I want to question myself. They're off tonight, so the Bearcats not playing. They're kind of waiting it out to see where this one's going to go and what kind of position they may be in. So they know now a win over Longview next week gives them the 2nd spot in this district. Right now, Tyler's beaten West Mesquite, and McKinney North and Wiley East are tied. That's a 21-all, about the same place in the 4th quarter in their game. 3rd down long. Pressure coming. And how about a sack, but just getting that ball away before the sack. Azarius Shepard, again, who's just become a beast of a pass rusher, forces that incomplete, and it's 4th down. And you don't have to burn a timeout.
No, they tried to set up the screen again that time. Big play by the defense, as you said. What makes it big is the fact that Shepard's getting to him, forces the pass out of his hand. It falls incomplete and stops the clock.
Brennan Storer tonight, 16 of 23, 239 yards, thrown 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Stone on for the punt now. And they'll rugby style this one. Boy, got way up in the air for that style punt. It hits at the 20, takes a Highland Park bounce inside the 5 where they kill it at the 3. 4. At the 4-yard line.
Tell you what, that was a very effective punt. First, it made it impossible to return it all. Then it pins them deep.
40-yard punt. 4:47 left to play. Longview's got a long field again. 96 yards to go.
You figure at this point, 4:47 left, they're going to drop the safeties back, put the umbrella out, and make them keep everything underneath.
By the way, Highland Park, you don't think they remember last year's loss to McKinney North? They go to McKinney North next week. First down pass caught by Taylor. He's across the 10, fights off a defender, and stiff arms as well. It's actually Hale, excuse me.
Yeah, Hale did a great job securing the catch, and then afterwards made a big play with his feet, and that stops the clock. 2 good things happen there. Big gain, clock stops on the play.
21-yard reception for Jalen Hale.
But I go back to what I said before the play. They're going to put the umbrella out, and that's going to allow them to make those plays underneath.
Hale, 4 catches, 46 yards today. First down, 10-25. Wright's going to be the lone guy on the right. Back to pass, Allen. Excuse me, that's Hale. Hale fighting. Nothing there. Going to go the other way, caught by Hamilton as he dives at the 38-yard line and brings that one in for a gain of 12 and another first down.
If you're Longview, you need to hustle to the line. They got to stop the clock to move the chains. Well, they didn't even do that. The home scorekeeper still got the clock rolling.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, if I'm John King, I'm livid the fact that they never stopped that clock to move those chains.
4:23 left to play. And we got a flag down. And they're going to call false start on Longview.
Yeah, they get 5 of that back right away. That will stop the clock, but they're going to blow the ready here momentarily.
So
that'll crank it back.
Back to the 32-yard line. Lobos have no time to waste here. Clock rolling again with 4:15 left.
Only the one timeout left.
Hale going to split out right. First and 15. Allen back to pass. Slant intended for Hale. He catches it and gets double hit at the 40-yard line, and he's going to be slow getting up again.
Yeah, that was almost a targeting call there. There looked like a lot of head-to-head contact there.
Yeah, coming in with that last part of that play was 45. That's Sam Webster we've seen a few times tonight. Gained that time of just a few. Allen back to pass, looking deep. There is Taylor, catches it, breaks 2 tackles, down the sideline, 15, 10, and he's knocked out of bounds. And they're going to say he dove forward to the 1-yard line. It'll be first and goal, Lobos. Now they say out at the 5, out at the 5-yard line.
I don't know what happened on that. You had an official right there who spotted the ball at the 1. Instead, the head linesman comes back and puts it on the 5. They're going to start the clock here. If you're Longview, you got to be getting to the line.
First down and goal at the 5. Clock is running again. They got to get going. 55-yard pass play, by the way, on that last completion. First catch for Taylor tonight. Taylor Tatum's in the backfield now for the Lobos, and they're going to have to burn the timeout. They were running out of play clock again. And they let about 20 seconds go off the clock. Let's look at the replay, by the way.
On the big play
Taylor's
previously.
Catch and run.
Good catch. Able to break away from the safety. Really turns on the Jets. The other safety has to come across and just clips him.
All right, well, Longview's got a little bit of life, and you know they can get in the end zone for the first time. You know we're going to see the onside kick opportunity. So they're not dead yet.
With 3:10 left, you have time to onside kick. You may not have time to kick it deep and get the ball back. You only have the one timeout that they just burned, so they don't have any timeouts.
Nope.
And if you're Longview, you really want to get in the end zone here on the first play.
Well, you've got 3:10 left to play in this game. 21-10 the score. Somehow, the Lobos have been hanging around here. They played better than the Scots in the first half, not as good in the third quarter. Allen back to pass. He's got Taylor Tatum. He'll catch it in the end zone. Lobos score with 3:06 left to play, and it's a 21-16 game.
Well, here you go for 2, so you make it a 3-point ball game. Clock stops. You got plenty of time now for the 2-point effort.
All right.
Got to get your personnel package right.
Yeah, play clock is rolling here. You got 15 on it, and they will try the 2 here. Right and Hale to the right. Bush going to switch from left to right. Allen going to roll that way. Looking. He's got to throw, and it's knocked down incomplete. The defender over there was Mason Gallus. He was the closest one, and nobody was really in the neighborhood for a catch that time.
And that's kind of a no-harm deal there, because if you get it, it's a 3-point game. If you don't get it, touchdown still gets you back in it. And so obviously you would have loved to cut the thing to 3 points. If you cut it to 3, you might think about kicking it deep. Now I think you got to seriously consider the onside kick.
Well, I'm onside kicking either way. Whether it's 3 or whether it's 5 or whatever, I'm onside kicking it either way. I don't trust I'm going to get the ball back.
Well, no, I understand.
timeouts.
I understand no timeouts and all, but at the same time, you could do some things, but now it's kind of a no-brainer.
All right, so Michael Fields going to be asked here to try an onside kick.
And there's 2 or 3 ways people onside kick now. Some people try the short version of the pooch kick where you try to get somebody down there and run under it. There's the old-fashioned where you bounce it down in the turf and hope it pops up right for you. We saw one a couple weeks ago in Tyler where they started the game where the kicker dragged it, basically. Yeah. They went and plowed a road for him to run it down.
I don't think we've seen Longview onside kick this year.
No, I don't either because they haven't had to. So it'll be interesting to see what they have. Every coach has their version of the onside kick they prefer.
All right, now Longview's going to run 2 guys here. They've got 2 kicker types. Michael Fields is 98, and Jacob Vasquez, the sophomore, is the other kicker. So they've got 2 different guys to come from 2 different directions depending on how Highland Park lines this up or what the coaches see.
And we remind you, it's not like the old days where you can put everybody on one side. You can only load up one side now.
So we'll see what the Lobos have cooking here. Highland Park's not going to take a timeout. They've seen what they want to see, and they're set up for it. It's Vasquez who's going to kick it. Gets the high, big bounce, but it goes right to, and a nice bounce to a Highland Park return man. That's Rutledge, the worst guy you can kick to.
Yeah.
And he recovers it at the 49-yard line, and now you got 3 minutes to try to stop him from getting a first down and try to get the ball back.
Well, you just got to get very aggressive. You got to start grabbing at the ball, trying to punch it out here. If you're a Highland Park, it's all about ball security right now. You just want to pick up a first down and secure the ball.
All right. You got 2 or 3 plays. You can't give up a first down or this game's over. On first down, to the ground they'll go. There's Brookdale, and he's going to have the first down, and you're in all kinds of trouble right now.
Yep.
It's just tough running. But I said Brookdale, Ben Crossdale, who goes for 12 and gets him a first down.
You can see him securing that ball with both arms.
We told you at the beginning they do not beat themselves. It's amazing to see them throw a pick 6. But with the exception of that and a couple of bad penalties on a drive for them in the third quarter, the end of the third quarter, they just don't make many mistakes.
They're not impressive, to be honest. I'm not going to leave here tonight going, wow, the number 3 team in the state's really, really good. But I'm going to leave here going, they take care of their business.
They're going to hand off again. This is just power football up the middle to the 37-yard line for a gain of 2.
If you're Longview, you leave here tonight thinking we can beat this football team. We'd love to see them down the road again.
You know, I think they thought that about Denton Ryan too, with the exception of a bad second quarter. The number 1 team in the state, and we were an immature football team, obviously.
And this team has come a long way. They didn't show it all tonight, but they've got some weapons. It'll be interesting to see with the loss tonight, will we possibly go back to a 2-quarterback system at some point in the future?
Well, we haven't seen Josh Thomas back in a long time. Another handoff to Crossdale, and he's going to be very smart. He can see it in his head. I'm running for the sideline. No, wait, no, I'm not. He planted that right foot, came back to the middle part of the field, and went down in play, and the clock keeps running.
Could have probably made it to the first down, but he knew that was not what was important at this point. What's important is keeping that clock going.
Smart football team. 3rd down 3, minute 14 and counting. They get another first down on this, it's over.
Well, it's over already unless we get a turnover here.
Well,
it's going to take a Eagles-esque meltdown.
It's happened before. Here's the 3rd and 3. Storer keeping it. He's dropped back at the 35-yard line. That's going to be a big loss. Let's get in there is Billy Smith, and now it's 4th down. And there's going to be the Lobos are going to get the ball back. There's about
but
a 13
I'll tell you what, they almost
fumbled
that thing on the exchange. I talked about the Eagles-esque meltdown. Literally, they almost had that. Where are you, Herm Edwards?
Well, it's not the miracle at the Meadowlands. It would be the, what do you want to call it here?
It would have been the Scotland.
I don't want to know, yeah. There's about There's about a 13-second difference, and they're going to let this thing go all the way down. Randy Allen's going to take a timeout with 1 left on the clock. There it is. So there's 13 seconds left on the game clock. 4th down is coming up. And it's 4th down in about 6 or 7.
And if you're Highland Park, you don't want to take a loss. You'll probably run something where you try to get the first down. But you got to remind everybody, we can't let the ball pop out and let them scoop and score something. I'd be shocked if we see a pass. Randy Allen may be one of those guys, as our buddy says, put a foot on the throat kind of guy. And throw the ball downfield. Certainly there'll be some opportunity here. It'll be everybody in there tight trying to make a stop. But right now, if you look where the ball is placed right now on the 36-yard line, it almost makes any type of Hail Mary impossible. You're going to have to do a hook and ladder or something like that if you do get possession with a few seconds left on the clock.
I can't imagine John King practices a whole lot of lateral plays.
No, it's a hook and ladder.
I know, but I'm talking about the crazy Stanford Cal
I'm not looking for a bunch of
we need the band in the end zone.
They're just going to punt the ball.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best decision you make.
And this is a problem, because if that ball hits the ground and rolls around and nobody downs it short of the end zone, they may run out a bunch of this clock. Longview's got nobody back. Here comes the kick. He does not want it to go in the end zone, and it goes in the end zone. So there's still 5 left on the game clock. That took 8.5 seconds to wipe out that punt for it to travel 40 yards. So the Lobos have time for one more. They'll come to the 20-yard line. They got 20-yard line. They got one play in them.
Well, as we said, too far for a Hail Mary. You probably try to hit a little hook and ladder, something like that. You talked about the, Cal Stanford play where you just pitch it around.
All right, let's see what we've got out there. Wright, Hale, Taylor. They're the receivers. Still got a guy in the backfield. Back to pass, Allen. Bush, middle of the field. This is going long. 3 men over. Ball is knocked down. Ball game.
Well, they tried to get Hale an opportunity. We've seen him make a couple of plays this year where he went up in a crowd and found his way to the end zone. But there were 3 people around him that time. He never had a shot.
Where are you, Matt Stafford? Look one way, throw the other.
Well, Matt's already worked this week, I think.
I think so, too.
Yeah, he's not working tonight. But tough loss, 1-score ball game. If you're the Lobos, you leave here tonight thinking, we can beat this football team. We'd love to see them in a neutral site.
Yeah, if we can play a lot better, not as many mistakes, offense a little bit better, just no penalties. I don't keep a very good track of penalties, so I don't know what the numbers are. They were outrageous, though, again tonight. This goes back 2 weeks to 14 penalties and big yards, and I wish I had stats on penalties for you that were really accurate. I don't, just because I don't keep them.
Well, you got a hostile crowd. You're on the road. And I know a lot of it was just execution penalties.
Yeah.
Sometimes kids have trouble finding where the play clock is, and several times tonight they didn't get to the line in time and get plays called and executed in time. And it's just a little more difficult on the road. And so if you're Longview, you mature, you get better. You try to see these guys down the road.
Let me give you what I can. 17 first downs for the Scots. We'll start on their side. 27 carries, 48 yards rushing, 16 for 24 passing for 239 yards. They were 6 of 13 on third down conversions. For the Lobos, 15 first downs, 32 rushes, 133 yards, 11 for 21 throwing the football for 155. I had us with 13 penalties, and I'm probably missing a couple. I'm betting you we had more than 15 tonight. We were 8 of 15 on third down conversions today. Leading the way, throwing the football tonight, Brennan Storr, we said 16 of 23 for 239, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Jordan Allen, 11 for 20 for 155 yards, actually 21 with the last one. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Running the football, Jarrett Lewis, 12 carries, 57 yards. Harris had 7 for 35. Tatum, 8 for 29. Allen, 5 for 12. For the Scots, Christian Reeves, 7 for 32. Brent Crossdale, 8 for 24. Receiving the football tonight, Rutledge, 5 for 96, all in the first half. Cox, 4 for 88 in the second half. They led the way for Highland Park. For Longview, Jalen Hale had 6 receptions. I've got that wrong because one of his receptions I inadvertently gave to him, and it actually should have gone to DeKalen Taylor. So actually 5 receptions and about 50 yards catching for Jalen Hale tonight.
Tell you what, I want to brag on the Longview defense tonight. They gave up a few big plays, but when their backs were to the wall tonight, right before the half, in the third quarter, they made some tremendous stands. They got the big interception return for a touchdown. They got Longview back in this thing. The real shining spot tonight for me is that Longview defense. When you take away the fact that Highland Park had a scoop and score, they hold this team less than 20 points.
Scoring tonight, John Rutledge got the first touchdown pass of the game, the first score of the game. A 5-yarder from Brennan Storr to make it 7-0 in the second quarter. Michael Fields had a 34-yard field goal in that quarter to make it a 7-3 halftime score. Third quarter began with a scoop and score for George Wright from Highland Park from 25 yards away on the first play of the second half to make it a 14-3 game. Caden Brooks on the last play of the third quarter, 65-yard pick 6. 14-10 after 3. Jackson Heist with an 8-yard touchdown reception from Storr to make it 21-10. Taylor Tatum, the last score for Longview, that came on a 5-yard reception late in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left to play to make the final score 21-16. All right, well, we appreciate you sticking with us tonight. We're going to be back home in Longview next Friday night. Sherman's coming into town for a 7:30 start time. We will be there as well as the Lobos try to get back on the winning track and make a push towards hopefully a playoff run.
Yeah, they see a Bearcat team who last week lost to Highland Park 35-17. As you said, could be the second place in district, second seed on the line.
Yep. Lobos fall to 5-2 on the year. Scott's now 5-1 on the year. District matters. Highland Park sitting atop the conference or district standings with a 2-0 record. Lobos fall to 2-1. Randy Allen gets his 419th win. He's gaining quickly on G.A. Moore, and for John King, he still sits at 194. All right, that's going to wrap it up. For our crew, for Tony Kirk, for Frank Sides, I'm Chuck Zach. You've been watching a presentation of Longview Lobo football here on Longview